Okay, I'd like to bring the full board meeting to order for the Single Family Design Board starting with roll call.
Okay, here we go. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll proceed. Here we go. Chair Sherry,
Here.
Vice Chair Mosley.
She's here.
She's here. She just stepped out for a bit. Board Member Graffiti,
Here.
Board Member Richards,
Present.
and Board Member Ralph.
Here.
Oh, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, public comment. Any member of the public may address the board for up to 2 minutes on any subject within its jurisdiction that is not scheduled on this agenda for a public discussion. Do we have anybody in the audience or online that would like to?
Not seeing anyone with a raised hand in the room. I'm checking on our virtual, and I do not see any raised hands on Zoom. No, then I'll turn this back over to Chair Sherry.
Okay, item B, approval of the minutes of the Single Family Design Board meeting of March 9th, 2026. This was a very long meeting of one agenda item. Yeah, do I have a?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for March, what date is it? 9th, 2026.
I'll second.
Okay, here we go. Chair Sherry,
Yes.
Vice Chair Malishi,
Abstain.
Board Member Ralph,
Yes.
Board Member Richards.
Abstain.
Okay. And I believe I'm turning that over to, Board Member Graffiti, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes, okay. We have the approval of the March 9th minutes. Thank you.
Okay, item C, approval of the minutes of the Single Family Design Board consent meeting of March 9th. Is that you?
Yeah, let's see who it was. It was Board Member Graffiti for consent.
Can you just pause with the, yeah. I believe under item 1, the intention of the comment was applicant to provide more photos of the existing home or existing property from any roads where it is visible, like Modoc, Vista del Campo, Las Positas, or anywhere else. And then,
So it's basically a typo.
yeah.
Just remove the from, right?
Sorry to interrupt. What was the address of this project? Was this today on consent?
No,
No.
this was from March 9th.
Okay.
This is a project I reviewed, and it was abating. There was a lot of comments that came up, and I want to make sure it's clear. It was abating several items, but also proposing several items that weren't necessarily clear. And I know that staff is working closely with the applicant. Okay. Okay, you can continue. Yep, continue. Okay, great. I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the Single Family Design Board consent meeting of March 9th.
I'll second.
Okay, here we go. Board Member Graffiti,
Yes.
Chair Sari,
Yes.
Vice Chair Malishi.
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay.
Oh,
the
just for the
consent.
record, Ms. Gu, it's Shanar Moselhe.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Mosul?
Moselhe.
Moselhe,
Yeah, is how
okay.
you pronounce it. Yeah, thank you.
Mosley.
Mosley.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
thanks.
sorry.
L-E-L-E-H.
Mosley, okay. Board Member Richards
Yes.
and Board Member Rao.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, item D, ratification of action taken on the consent calendar of today, March 23rd.
Great. This is posted on the SFDB full board agenda. I'm trying to bring it up here, but it looks like it is. Oh, here we go. Just for reference. Yeah, so item 1, 1106 Crestline Drive, was granted project design approval and final approval with conditions. Item 2, 3796 Brenner Drive, was postponed 4 weeks at applicant request, so it wasn't heard today. Item 3, 2931 Ariba Way, was granted project design approval and final approval as submitted. And item 4, 1224 Bel Air Drive, was granted project design approval and final approval with conditions. And those were the actions taken today at consent.
Thank you. Item E, announcements.
Oh, if we could get a motion
sorry.
for ratification, Chair Sherry, that'd be great.
I can do that. It was
Sure.
me. I'll make a motion to ratify the action taken on the consent calendar of March 23rd.
I'll second.
Sorry. Here we go. Board Member Mosley.
Yes.
Mosley. Okay, and, oops. Okay, Board Member Graffiti,
Yes.
Board Member Rao,
Yes.
Board Member Richards.
Yes.
Here we go. And Chair Sherry.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Announcements.
I don't have any announcements to make at this hearing.
Okay. Moving on to item 1, 224 Loyola Drive. This is a continued item. It's here for project design approval. It's a proposal to construct a 751 square foot second-story addition to an existing 1,575 square foot single-story, single-unit residence located in the coastal zone, non-appealable jurisdiction. The existing 423 square foot attached garage and detached shed will remain. Project includes a 590 square foot patio, a 52 square foot balcony, 211 square foot balcony, driveway replacement material, new 42-inch driveway gate, fence, landscaping and hardscaping, and the total proposed of 2,749 square feet of development on an 8,527 square foot lot is 83% of the required maximum floor area ratio. The project qualifies for an exemption from further environmental review under Section 15301 of the California Environmental Quality Act. Project design review approval is requested. Neighborhood Preservation Ordinance findings are required, and the project was last heard on March 25th, 2024. Your name for the record.
Shava Riley, designer, agent.
Oh, and if you could turn on your microphones, please, just make sure the green light is on at the center when you press the center button. There you go. Thank you.
Shava Riley, agent and designer. Catherine Beckley, owner.
And John Tyne, attorney for the owner.
Okay.
Okay, we just wanted to do just a brief history about this project. It's a little convoluted, and so we thought the owner, giving a little history and depth to this growing case would be really helpful to give you insight to where we are and why we're asking to be approved quickly. So go ahead, Catherine, take it away.
Thank you. So first off, I am neurodivergent on the autism spectrum. So truth and facts, nuances matter a lot to me. When I get nervous, I speak quickly, and I may jump around. So just know that, like, I'm trying my best, but it's just medical. I'm sorry. So I just find it scary.
No reason to be scared here.
Well, I mean, any of like this, yeah. And I'm so sorry that we're here. I've never come in here. A lot of things have happened that have been really upsetting about it, and I'm so sorry that we brought this on the city, that you guys have to deal with this. When I bought the property, I bought it from an estate, and the previous owner had passed away, and he had someone who didn't know much representing the estate. And I did not know that there were any violations that were coming with it. There were violations in 2018, apparently, and prior to that, about unpermitted or non-conforming, non-permitted structures. If I misspeak, someone please pipe in. And I didn't know that, and they didn't declare it. So when I closed, we found out that these, like a few different things were happening. Some of them, we immediately got a survey in order to find out if something was too close to a line where it shouldn't have been a shed. And we immediately, when it was brought to my awareness, because I care a lot about facts and rules, when I heard like we couldn't have electricity, I was like, just take it out. The rooms that were there were 2 different rooms that were non-conforming, very old structures. One was an ADU in a garage. If I didn't say before, I bought it in March of 2023. The violations were from 2018 and earlier. And the survey it confirmed that the shed was well within where it had to be, that our neighbor had taken 12 feet times the whole length. And luckily, the survey gave us back that area. But it showed that the shed was where it was supposed to be.
Out of the setback.
Out of the setback, thank you. Please use the actual, yeah, thank you. So the electricity, they took immediately out of a shed. Someone had been living in a shed. There were many people living there. When I got the house inspection, we found out that there was a tremendous amount of very, very dangerous mold. And they came out with full blooms, and like an actual, like in a spot where someone was sleeping in that small area. There were many, many people in the house. And so I kept going to if they offered me something to do, I said, let's do it properly. Like, we had people in hazmat. It was, if different issues like environment, I care a lot about. I like to like go pick up trash, or plant things over the week, like at the foothills. If there's volunteer, I care a lot about it. And so I was scared that the mold was going to be airborne and different things. So we went to the top tier of removal. It cost like an extra $23,000, and I just didn't want any animals or people to get sick. So because of the level of mold, we went to the hazmat, and the previous contractor and architect didn't present any options for me of saying, well, if we take off the room that was non-conforming, like if we just demo it, you can't have that space back. Or it was there. The original owner had built it and used it. They were a musician and a hypnotist, and they both used it as their office. So it was there for since the 60s, and then the ADU had been made a good 20-some years ago, but they immediately demoed off the extra room and the garage. I still would have gotten the hazmat above and beyond people because it was dangerous, and at the same time, nothing was presented that they could fill in forms to keep that space for anything. So it turned out, so I made a very big mistake, and I did not research properly. I did not do my due diligence on the architect. I feel a shame about it. And the contractor, his brother-in-law is the architect. And they said that they've done lots of projects in Santa Barbara and that they work together. So I got references on the contractor and found out a bit about him, but I didn't find out much about the architect, which was entirely my fault. And it turns out that he is not licensed in California, and that they haven't done a lot of things in Santa Barbara. They did the contractor's house together, like his sister's house, but they didn't do a lot in here. And so as we moved ahead, they told me that they had moved for an emergency permit because of the amount of mold. And then they told me that they were able to demo like all of the walls. I was very concerned about this mold. So all of like the drywall was taken off immediately, and put into the hazmat with every one of the appliances. Everything was done properly. And then they came in and said they had an emergency permit. I then found out a year ago with.
I just want to speak to this,
Sorry.
if you can. And so they told her that everything was in the works and that she was given emergency permits and that everything had been approved and construction was allowed to move forward. However, unbeknownst to Catherine, this was not the fact. And when I was hired, I was just doing investigation because the facts weren't salient when I took over the project. I'm looking for the pictures of the current state of the house right now so that you can see what has occurred during this time, and that's why she's representing what she thought she was in compliance with, but we were not. So this is the house currently right now. So what she's talking about is this emergency permit, thinking that she could move forward with the remodel and second addition of the house. The previous person representing her did move forward with permitting the first floor with some mold, but never closed the case or the enforcement case. Told her they had the emergency permit to continue moving forward, and that's when they got another enforcement violation for the framing. This tipped Catherine off to the fact that something wasn't right. She had no idea what was going on. So that's when they immediately cut their ties. Legal things are being processed right now, and that's why the lawyer is here. He can speak to that.
We brought suit again. We had to bring suit.
And I want to remind you guys, you have 6 minutes and
Okay,
30 seconds
okay,
to do your entire presentation.
Okay, so that's just, yes.
I'm just going to confirm that, we have filed litigation against the former architect and the former contractor because of the fraud that they committed. It's very clear that the homeowner did not know that these things were not permitted or allowed. So
Okay.
Shav has done a great job working with the city. So Shav, if you could please walk us through
So
it.
basically, so that's just the background of where we are today. And so, that being said, I did look at the minutes and review the videos from the previous design review, and so we're hoping to get this moving forward quickly, expeditiously. So I will just address them as they come. So in keeping with the plans, the recommendation from this board, we are keeping with the 8-foot plate height for both the first and the second story as your recommendation, keeping the eaves at an overhang of 2 feet 6 inches consistently throughout, and the roof pitch of a 4.5 rise with a 12-foot run. And then secondly, you had concerns about the chimney. So we decided to just remove the chimney from all of this right here. So we just took it away. It was too massive. And if you look from the side view on the previous plans, it just kind of stuck out there like a sore thumb. And this really helps the house recede from the front. It is already set back 20 feet, but it really helps the house, the second story, not be so massive towards the neighborhood. let's see, we stayed under the 85% FAR as recommended by the board, so we were able to achieve that. As far as the rear is now concerned, we absolutely updated that. I saw on the video that the behind neighbor was worried, concerned about the purview we would have. So if you can see now, we totally eliminated that huge eave that was overhanging and the big deck that had been proposed. Instead, we went for a nice little side Juliet balcony right here and removed the big eave from this back area and the big covered patio. Let's see. We did also do landscape plan here for you. Everything is low water and appointed nicely. I'm having trouble.
We also did the geological study to show that there weren't wells.
Yeah, and we did the geological study to show that there weren't any wells or issues on this lot. And that's where we are.
You have 3 more minutes, and I think that one of the questions that's going to come up is context. None of us were on the board when the project was seen
Okay.
last.
No, that's not true.
Oh, you
I
were?
reviewed it. Yeah.
You reviewed it.
I remember.
You remember it? Because
Yeah.
she's been nodding her head, so she's the only one.
Yeah.
But I think it would be good for the board if we saw context, like where the site plan, photos of the neighborhood, because it's a 2-story addition.
Yeah,
Right?
perfect.
You guys are going
Okay.
to ask that question, right?
Perfect. Here
thinking.
you go. Here's some site plans. Here's some neighborhood compatibility. Let me see if I can reduce this so I can fit it all into the screen here. So this house right here is directly across the street. This one is directly up the,
Just 231, if you'll use the address numbers so they can see it.
oh, okay. 231 Loyola is directly across the street, which is very similar to what they're doing. They have a corner deck. The second-story addition is set back. And same thing, down the street on the corner. Even colors are congruent with 200 Loyola Drive, are congruent with what we are presenting. Same thing can also be said for 324 Loyola Drive. Little balcony, little deck, same consistent colors. And then right across the street as well is the 207 Loyola Drive. Little bit different colors, but the same eave, overhang, front deck feel for this house. And as far as the site plan, we were asked to do a study to show how the house lies with the neighborhood property. So this is Loyola Drive. You can see we're clearly in outside of the front yard setback, and then the second story is even further back. Our little side Juliet balcony is right here, so it's not looming in to the neighbor's backyard. There's a nice hedge here. At the bottom of the Juliet balcony, there will be stucco and then open to glass, just on the ocean side. And then there's no real encroachment on this other side to the 218 Loyola. And the house is nicely positioned towards the views of the water, which are on this side of the property. This is the shed that she was referring to. When she purchased the home from the estate, the boundaries were not clear, so the survey was done, and it was confirmed that the shed is well inside the setback and the property boundaries, which you can see. We easily qualify for the open yard area, so there's no encroachment on that. And any other questions?
We're not, we'll get to questions. in a
Oh,
minute.
yeah, okay.
So is that your presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we're moving on. Before questions, we'll move on to public comment.
Okay, I did not receive any submitted public comment for this particular item. I'm checking on our virtual Zoom, and I do not see any raised hands, so we will turn that back over to you, Chair Sherry.
Thank you. Okay, questions from the board. Board Member Richards, questions?
Sure. So you had said that there were active violations with the property. Have all of those been addressed in this proposed plan? They're not asking for any sort of variation, right? Okay, fantastic.
Oh, you got an answer.
Yeah, I got a nod
Oh,
from Sebastian.
I was nodding, saying yes, yeah.
I
correct,
figured
yeah.
that's what happened. I just wanted to confirm because we've been working very closely with Sebastian.
And then I guess, could we scroll up to the proposed, I'm guessing south elevation? I just want to see kind of that, looks like part of that second floor is projecting past the face of the floor beneath, and I want to just see what's going on with that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it does stack on top of each. Okay.
Yes, and I could just expand on that. So previously, the design was bringing this out for this big, large enclosed deck patio, and then this eave overhung very dramatically past the deck to just have this very heavy, very shadow feeling. So we did listen to the board, and we did remove that.
And just through the chair, to the applicant, on the tabs there on your screen, you'll see old plans and previous minutes. So if you want to switch to those old plans for
Yes.
more context.
Yes, that would be amazing. Thank you, Sebastian.
As you.
This
yeah, you can
is
see the
what
previous
was there previous.
Now I remember this house.
Yes. So we absolutely took this off, and this is why the neighbor had such concerns. So we feel like this is much more of an appropriate design and feel for the neighborhood. Thank you.
I think those are my questions.
Board Member Rolfe, questions?
Just as clarification for the last design review hearing, 2024, was that the previous designer? Okay, just, that's what I thought. Yeah. And then would the finishes still be just that kind of smooth cream
They
stucco?
would, yeah, exactly. What was
Okay.
approved for the first floor remodel, we would be congruent with that, just as stated in the previous. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Board Member Mosley,
Yeah, sure.
questions?
You mentioned the chimney was removed, so there's no fireplace anymore?
Correct.
Okay. And if you can, I know that this was asked about a material palette. We're not seeing any material palette here. If in the old set, you can go back and just like show us, like run us through the colors, material palette, that it's still the same, or if there's any change, just mention it.
Oh, absolutely. So there was no previous color palette on the previous set of design plans, just the renderings. In the notes, though, on the side, it does call out the finishes. However, we still need to add lighting, but other than that, all the finishes would be congruent with this photo. So it would be the black with, I believe it's like Eldorado white stucco, the wood accents, and the dark charcoal roof.
Okay.
It's a little.
And if you can go to your plan that shows I think, landscape plans,
Yes.
are there any trees proposed to be removed, and are they new trees to propose?
There are no trees to be removed.
Okay.
And here's the list of the landscaping.
Okay, I think that was my questions for now.
Board Member Graffiti, questions?
Okay, material palette. Oh, there's one, okay, so there's one elevation, I wasn't sure. It looks like it's stacked, but is there an area where there's posts under a second story element? And no, okay, can you go back to that?
Yes, so it is the one that we modified with the eaves. It's the
Okay.
south, I believe you're referring to.
Yeah.
So it's demonstrated here, and this is the south elevation of it.
Perfect, okay.
But this is what, if you were facing,
Okay,
this was
without
kind of
the
the
patio.
side. Yes, so
Got it.
the primary bedroom is being expanded.
Okay.
Just without the big enclosed or covered deck and this big awning.
Okay, and then is there an intention, I know you don't have it in the plans, it sounds like, but for the lighting, have you thought about that, or just?
Yes, we have.
Okay,
We were going to do feedback and then present that in our, but,
for final? Oh, okay.
exactly.
It's just for part of our PDA findings, if we wanted to move forward in PDA, we could add a condition or something, but typically, we have to make sure it's night sky compliant and all that kind of stuff
Absolutely,
and look at it.
absolutely.
I don't think I have any other question. My question was just what changed from old plans, but you walked us through that, so yeah, I think that's it.
I wanted to continue on that, and can I see the west elevation, the proposed west elevation? Just to reorient myself with, and maybe show us the previous submittal for the west elevation so I can remember what
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
issue was with
Okay, so,
the
chimney,
chimney.
yeah. You can really see it in
You
this.
had a rendering of it, and I just haven't been able to see it. It's been tempting me.
Oh,
That
okay.
one- That one.
This
So
one.
That was the previous approval.
Yeah.
That's where the chimney was.
And-
then now go ahead.
And if you can see, it's really far forward, so it just looks like this from the side view. If you were walking on the sidewalk or driving up, you would just see this very big,
And where's the new elevation? The new proposed elevation?
right here. And the door is, see, we moved, the front door was here, and now we've added more symmetry to the house right here and put the front door here.
And back to the proposed. Okay. And on the south elevation, you have the Juliet balcony. If you go to that, and the balcony is
Yes, right here.
that one right there. And it's got, I think what I'm seeing is a plaster base with a glass
Yes.
railing above, but it looks like the plaster just is stuck onto the outside. And how far beyond the face of the building does that balcony extend? Because it's hitting the building above the finished floor of the upper level. So I'm just wondering what that is even for.
Let me
What that
show you.
balcony is even for.
Right here. It's just so they could open, I don't know that they'd ever even be out on it. It's just so that they could open it up and have the room feel larger. And instead of having this big deck here that was in the back, the ocean view is right this way. So they could, have coffee right here and look down towards the ocean and just have that nice breeze.
And that one looks like
It's
it's cantilevered above the floor. So the framing of that balcony is going to hit the wall above the floor level. Is that what I'm seeing? Mm-hmm. And the other drawing has that plaster element coming into the wall higher than the finished floor, which I think is a little bit of
let me just look
maybe
right here.
discrepancy, but is that the second floor plan?
Yeah, this is the second floor plan. So you can see it right here. And this is the roof below.
So it looks like it's a folding door system that you can walk out onto that area, right? So, okay. So I go back to the south elevation again. If you can walk out on it,
Let me get to the south.
if you can walk out on it, I'm not understanding how you can walk out on it if the balcony is
I understand.
above the finished
Right.
floor level. That plaster is going to go all the way down
I understand what you're saying.
to, okay, so that answers that question. And then one more thing, can I see the photo of the existing house the way it stands now?
Yes. This is the little overhang we're talking about.
Okay, that's what it looks like now. Okay. Okay. Thank you. And then you mentioned an ADU. What's with the ADU? Where is that on the site plan? Did I miss it?
It was in the enforcement case, so that there was this was So I don't know if the enforcement case is on this one.
Is it gone?
It's gone.
And it was part of the house or something?
It was part of the house and then built into the back. So this was an ADU in the garage, and then there were
Got it.
more housing, you could call them housing rooms in the backyard.
But you're keeping the garage?
We're keeping the garage, absolutely.
Okay, no more questions. Comments? Board Member Cafetti?
Okay, well, thank you for all of that context. I remember reviewing this project, and also I pass by here all the time. I walk my son to school right by the house, and I've been wondering what is going on. Yes, so I would just say, in general, very supportive of the project. I think it's even an improvement from the last time we reviewed, and I definitely would want to see lighting and ensure that lighting is night sky compliant. I want to make sure, I know we're listing materials, but, so warm white stucco, and, we have clarity around all the different materials proposed. The landscape plan looks nice and simple. I don't know if you guys have anything proposed for the back in the plan, or if it's mostly just ground cover hardscape. But if you do want to propose something, please include that for final. But I'm more than happy to support the project for PDA, and would love to see this move along as fast as it can to get you guys going again.
Board Member Mosley, comments?
Sure. I was not on the board when this was presented, but thank you for covering most of the comments. There are still a couple of items that I'm seeing that I think, like for the final, when you guys come, that can be improved, just for showing the project moving from the old presentation to now. For example, there was the metal railing for the balconies, but now it's glass, and somewhere I saw stucco wall. So just study the detailing of all of those and consistency all around the project. It's a small house, it's not large, so not to have like multiple way to have your balconies or patios. And I think just to see the color palette for the final, and maybe like colored material, colored showed on the elevation. It's always like really helpful if you don't have renderings. But material palette is fine as well. And I'm supportive of the project. I think like it's, just a step to just like get the unfinished project in the neighborhood moving forward. And we're looking forward to see everything coming along for the final.
May I ask you a question or is that allowed?
Really quickly.
Yes.
So we do have stucco with glass part facing the ocean view on both
I
of
think
them.
the comment was just, the house is small, so when you introduce multiple ways of treating a balcony, it might not be as successful as if you treated them all the same way, unless you had a reason for doing so, like a roof meeting it, and then you could say, there's a roof meeting it, so we didn't do glass there, or...
Yeah, I think like my comment is more about the consistency of like the way that you treat it, because it's a small house and we don't want to see multiple situations. Thank you.
Board Member Rolfe, comments?
Oh, yeah. So overall, I think what you did, especially compared to the last design that was proposed by the other designer, I like the moves that you made to take out the chimney and, remove that really large overhang. One comment I want to say, if what happened with the previous designer didn't happen, and if it wasn't already built, what I would say is that there's like the second floor on top of the first floor that's pushed towards the neighbor. Like when I'm on the street or on the Google view when I looked, it does appear massive, but given the situation, like and what happened, not gonna like hold that against this project. But yeah, that's if we were starting from scratch, that would be my feedback. So yeah.
Thank you. Board Member Richards, comments?
Yeah, I feel for you in the situation that you found yourself in. One of the comments that I would make is, and just kind of as you're preparing for final, is one of the consistency of details, but also maybe consistency of head heights on some of the windows. I noticed, especially on that south elevation, it seemed like there was a window that maybe was dropped about a foot down from the corresponding windows. And then also, if we could go to actually the floor plan, the first floor plan. Yeah, if there's the opportunity, it looked like these windows were already installed, but the grouping of 3 windows in that bottom left-hand corner, it seemed like it was kind of a mix match of a bunch of different things, some operable, some fixed, some sliding. If there's an opportunity to bring some consistency and rhythm to that, that would be appreciated, I think. So
Is that it?
that's it.
Yeah, I was going to mention the mullions on the front elevation. If you go to the front elevation, there's windows that are right next to each other, and I think that's something that you're going to need to resolve, which, because it's too small of an area to, and you're not showing it, it's too small of an area to do plaster, so just the detailing of those mullions, and maybe they should read as one instead of different ones. You're the designer, but it's too small of an area to put plaster. And if you tried to do it, it probably wouldn't be successful. And then the only other comment that I had to kind of study and resolve is that area where that roof hits that upper level balcony where you've got glass, because if you go to the south elevation, you're going to need more mass to pick up the idea of those doors sliding open and being able to have your coffee out there. And it's going to change how that balcony interfaces with the eave of the lower level, the one-story lower level. And you're just going to have to look at how that's resolved, because if you make it too deep, it's going to look like too much of a cantilever protrusion. And if it is just meant to not walk out on, then maybe you don't want to make it walk. I'll let you resolve it, but just resolve that corner. And I don't have anything else to add. I think it's moving in the right direction. And does anybody think this is ready for project design approval with some conditions, and want to make a motion?
I can make a motion. Okay. I'll move to continue the project with project design approval with the following comments. The applicant to provide the material palette, material board, and progress the exterior elevations to show the consistent condition with the as-built conditions. The applicant to provide the detailing of the balcony railing and all other architectural details required for final approval. The applicant to study the west elevation balcony. Is this one? Tertiary? Or the south elevation?
It's the south elevation.
South elevation balcony. Design and also revise the elevations to show the as-built condition of the west elevation balcony as well.
Lights,
Anything else?
lighting?
I think we need to make findings. It's PDA.
And
Yes.
mention, sorry, just for the final mention and show the exterior lighting to be downlight, skylight compliant.
Dark sky compliant.
And dark sky compliant, and the head height of the windows to be aligned. Okay, to do findings.
Great, and then we also have the, that's my call. There we go. There are the findings.
Okay. The proposed development is consistent with the scenic character of the city and will enhance the appearance of the neighborhood. The proposed development is compatible with the neighborhood, and its size, bulk, and scale is appropriate to the site and neighborhood. The proposed buildings and structures are designed with quality architectural details. The proposed materials and colors maintain the natural appearance of the ridgeline or hillside. There are no trees proposed to be removed. The public health, safety, and welfare are appropriately protected and preserved. The project generally complies with the Good Neighbor Guidelines regarding privacy, landscaping, noise, and lighting. The development, including proposed structures and grading, preserves significant public scenic views of and from the hillside. Is that it?
Can I have a seconder of the motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, here we go. Board Member Moslehi,
Yes.
Board Member Richards,
Yes.
Board Member Ralph,
Yes.
Board Member Graffiti,
Yes.
and here we go, Chair Sari.
Yes.
And motion passes for PDA and continue.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to make an announcement that there is 10 days for an appeal to be submitted for the decision made here today. If we don't hear from anybody, then we can go ahead and keep moving forward for final approval on building
Thank you,
safety.
Sebastian.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to number 2. 871 Summit Road. This is a continued item here for project design approval. It's a proposal to demolish the existing 1,142 square foot single-family residence and construct a new 2-story, 5,858 square foot home with a 2,364 square foot first floor and a new detached 3-car, 800 square foot garage. The existing 332 square foot 2-car garage is proposed to remain. New patio, balconies, and outdoor fireplace are proposed, along with new driveway, paving, gate, and walls. New tree plantings and landscaping is proposed to mitigate the removal of coastal live oaks. The floor area ratio total is 6,990 square feet on a 92,783 square foot lot is 125% of the maximum guideline floor area ratio. The project qualifies for an exemption from further environmental review under Section 15302 of the California Environmental Quality Act. Project design approval is requested, MPO findings, hillside design district and slope lot findings, and grading findings are required, and the project was last heard February 24th of 2025. Your name for the record.
Kyle Dixon, Windward Design Services.
Mark Wicke, architect.
So I think it's been quite some time since we've seen this, and a handful of our board members weren't here for this. So what I'd like to do, if possible, is just quickly go over the minutes and focus on those with the presentation today. Make sure I'm in the right one here. 871. Okay. So from our continuum, item 1 was size, bulk, and scale. It seems the board found that the general size given the scale of the site seemed reasonable. The request to provide a site plan of the existing conditions and so outline of adjacent neighbors on a vicinity map. Provide the existing and proposed spot elevations for top of roof.
Maybe instead of read them, let's go through them
One at a
so we
time?
don't forget
Bounce back.
each
Okay,
one.
we can do that. Absolutely.
I'm old and I can only
I'm
remember
happy
number
to-
1.
Happy to do this. Okay, so let's get to our set. Here's a good foot over.
You guys all know where this is on Summit?
I
So
remember
it's
this
really close to
project,
the,
yeah.
backs up to the golf course.
Yeah.
Aren't really any neighbors to the, what is that, southeast of it?
Yeah.
So
Here,
Comment was,
the site plan to show neighboring properties on our site
Okay.
plan. And I guess I just want to stop here, just give the board members a sense of what the current structure was that we were dealing with previously. Go through some-
originally it was a really small house that you had to park near the street and take a rickety footbridge over the arroyo.
maybe I don't have neighboring properties. Is there? Okay, good. I was making sure. Yeah, thank you.
Or second.
Yeah, here we are. Yes. So it's a little tough to see. This driveway is our property's driveway, and there is a small footbridge, a wooden footbridge that leads to a very small structure kind of buried here in the hillside. The neighboring properties that we have, 877 down below, they have a two-story structure here that abuts the backside of that existing non-conforming garage. And then the neighbor up the hill who, which is not, sorry, right here, 865, which oversees this property. But from our understanding, there's enough drop in the topography where our proposed structure's overall height wouldn't be an impact on their view, which was something we had discussed in the last hearing.
That also shows where you first come in, where that car is. That's the existing garage that's going to stay. It's going to be kind of used as a shed.
Item 3, provide the existing and proposed spot elevations for the top of roof. I have a good
It
elevation.
shows up on the elevations. It's
Yeah.
basically to show what he just mentioned, which is the house is lower than any obstructing views from the neighbor above. It's primarily a one-story house because the site drops away on the one southeast side. They use the basement area for a walkout. We are using the basement area for the walkout, so it becomes a two-story section on the right-hand side from the back. Let's go to the elevations or the.
What are we looking for?
I'm looking for our A elevations. It's so many. Sorry, we have so much structural details for the new structure. Yeah, to convey the building height, the change in building height with the proposed against what was originally there.
Go up to the renderings, start with that.
Okay. Okay.
Is that where the spot elevations are?
Yeah, that's where they're supposed. Okay. Let's see if I can go to page 1 here.
I thought the
you're
younger
looking for your
person could take
elevations.
care of this part. I'm so.
Yeah, unfortunately, I
They're
can't
gonna be after
seem
your
to
floor
type
plans,
in.
probably.
Did it freeze?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
See if you can get
Yeah,
that
it's just a large
button on the right and
file.
move it up.
Okay. Oh, this may crash. Let's find out.
I see where it says 53.
Yeah.
Punch in 0.
Oh, yeah, no, we have no,
Oh, you can't get
yeah,
that.
nothing.
That's my only two options.
Loading that page, maybe?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and if you're having problems, I can try another application that might work a little bit better, but
Okay. It does seem like we're having an issue then.
Okay, while we're waiting, maybe we
Yes.
can go through the ones that that have been taken care of, and maybe we don't have
Yes.
to have an
Okay.
illustration. Yeah.
All right, so street photos of the neighboring properties. Unfortunately, we did kind of look at that cover sheet, their photo sheet. I have included all the neighboring properties on that on the right-hand side, if you have access to the file. Majority of the properties have hedge lines and gates, very common for the area in the neighborhood. And we also, to be inconsistent with those, are proposing entry gate with hedge lines, similar to the neighboring properties.
Are you just stalling because you're waiting for the file to come up?
thank you for waiting as we figure out these technical difficulties. Yeah, let me try this other program and see if this one works a little bit more smoothly. Yeah, this one looks like it's working a little bit more smooth. Yeah, why don't you try,
Oh.
give that a whirl, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Feel free to switch tabs.
Just no, okay. go to that. Sorry, apologies.
Okay, that shows you the site. Basically the same driveway location as that car was shown on the aerial. A bridge going across the arroyo, and then a circular driveway area. The garage is on the left upper side.
So our approach to site, I'm just trying to stick with the items on the list, which I guess I have to go here to see. All right, so trying to show the existing and proposed spot elevations for the top of the roof. What we have here is the existing condition relative to the current topography, overlaid the entryway for the proposed structure. Since this is treated as a two-story structure, but the majority of our second story is below, which you'll see in some of our exterior renderings, one of the items we wanted to highlight to the board was just the overall increase here, which is 4'10" for that roof line of the now proposed structure versus the existing structure that is currently there. Street photos in neighborhood and existing properties.
You want to see the whole house again, since half of them?
Huh?
You want to see the whole house presented again?
No, let's just keep trying to go through the minutes first.
Absolutely.
Let's just, what was the next item?
Photos of the neighboring properties.
I think we kind of went,
From the site. Do you have one of the project looking up at the neighbor? Above?
No, I guess, no. We don't have a direct shot looking up towards. There's a majority of large trees and eucalyptus croppings here. It's a very densely forested neighborhood and property. Site section of comparable graphics that show the topography cutting north to south through the site and the height of building. Again, I can go back to the elevation pages to show how the proposed structure height relative to the existing site is laid out. Our entire lower bedroom wing on that side of the property is going to be excavated into the hillside. So as you can see these windows here. This whole lower wing will be excavated into the hillside. Here's another view from the side, trying to shows you some of those doorways into those bedrooms along that lower side. And the same with the staircase. This is our stairwell leading down to the access to those bedrooms. We will be excavating a majority of this. The topography along the driveway is consistent with the existing, although we are slightly altering it just to maintain 2-to-1 slope. The openings of the stone massing need to follow a design rhythm in keeping with the stone masonry construction, especially in the distance between two openings. I guess,
That might have been in the back.
I think we were talking about stone when you don't have a lot of space between windows.
We were, yeah. And in our original submittal, this entire wing was all the stone cladding from top to bottom, which was a large massing. So we approached it by trying to break it up with the change between the shogi burnt siding or wood, and then reducing the stone cladding to the main entry family room. And you can see here where we don't have that two-story condition, we maintain that stone throughout the family room, great room, and entryway. And we'll be matching that cladding around the pool and along the retaining walls for the buried portion of the lower story bedrooms. And our entryway along the driveway with the single-story condition with the stone cladding and black standing seam roofs throughout for the high fire condition. The lintel condition, I think this was one that Mark had worked on quite a bit. It was around these, we had these large picture windows on the left and right wing towards the views. And at the time, what we were facing was how we were going to recess them with the stone cladding we originally shown. And so now the approach will be to use the lintel and build outwards to encase with a subtle, there'll be a slight lit edge.
Kind of like a bay window?
Yeah, the fenestration will be set back slightly. And then the sizing and header heights we carried through and matched along the other side. So as you come around, we maintain those header heights, and then we match that same kind of picture window condition over here in the master bedroom.
And then you can see on the stone section, we increased the area between the windows or the sliding doors, so they're like
Yes.
18 inches now.
Yeah, throughout here.
We have the extended headers. Headers are made out of steel.
And then we match the same rhythm over here between these. Although this door is a larger configuration, the space in between was tied into what we show in the main entry area. Consider how the stone might be articulated between the basement and the first floor. And then again, so at that time what we had done is we took stone throughout this wing, although we do have a little pop out, which is where the kitchen sink is, and a pass-through window for a little bar feature for the outside connectivity. And we will be using the siding there, the shogi siding. And then again, for the way we did the transition here, the focus was primarily on the retaining wall portions and having some stone cladding.
Sort of a stone base,
Yeah.
the old barn shape coming out of it.
And we do have architectural details on all those transitions between the cladding to the wood siding in our A detail sheets. Draft the elevation for the gate, bridge, and site walls, which should all tie back architecturally to the proposed house. And so we do have our gate elevations. Forgive me while I dig through this to find them. Here we are. So when initially done this, we hadn't incorporated hedges, and we were yet to specify actual materials for our finishes. Where you see hedge lines now, we had originally just stone retaining walls. We had dropped the overall height of them so they weren't as intrusive, and we planted hedge lines in place of just long segments of retaining walls. There's also a utility easement on the left hand of the site, so the wall was cut back there to allow that, although the hedge planting still remains.
Through the chair to the applicant, you do have a little bit less, about 30 seconds remaining in the presentation time.
There's also the material palette.
Yes, and then this material palette is the proposed for the entire structure. From our storm gray metal seam roof, the El Dorado stone, the Yasugi board. The bronze coloring would just be for any trim and accents around windows and doors. And then the slate tile is for all the patio landings at the rear and entry.
There's a light.
Yeah, and our compliant light. Okay, yeah, material for the driveway, garage, and plantings. So the one note about the driveway, we have a chip seal but an approved adhesive material. So the kind of the golden pebble look to it, which can be, with the adhesive, meets the traffic weight requirement for fire access. And then, landscape. So we do now have a full updated landscape plan. This is the existing condition with a handful of oak trees, some of which have been removed, and that was part of an enforcement case. And we've resolved that with replanting. So most of these blue designated trees will be the oaks for I think it's a 5-to-1 ratio. to meet the trees that were cut and removed by the client before permitting. And here's a handful of the proposed plants for what will be used throughout the property.
Go back to that. There's a tree in the center of the driveway.
Oh, yeah. The three-line tree, that's this one. The Plantus racemosa, the California
Basically-
sycamore.
Basically showing that that particular tree is saved, so that's why the circle is there, and that's why the driveway goes around it. That particular tree was one of the taller trees that's saved.
Yeah, most of the oak trees that were removed were taken along the south side of the property where the view is over the
see it
polo
right
course. Yeah,
The ones that are dashed.
yeah.
It was a slightly overgrown site at the time, so a lot of the trees were not specimen per se.
Let me check. And then, yeah, I guess the one I missed was photos of adjacent gates. Those neighborhood photos I provided were the properties in the surrounding area with gates. And that will conclude our presentation.
Okay. Thank you. Public comment.
Okay, I had not received any correspondence in writing for this particular project. Checking virtual Zoom, I do not see any raised hands, and so I turn it back over to you, Chair Sherry.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Board Member Graffiti.
Okay. Questions. Oh, my first question is if you could pull up maybe an existing photo of the garage, and can you speak to, are there any changes being proposed? Are we relating it back to the new proposed architecture? What's going on with that structure?
Good question.
I know it's getting painted darker.
Yeah, we have some limitations
Stone elements.
due to the non-conforming condition.
Okay.
But we can, I think we are allowed to adjust the finishes on it if we don't
Okay.
impact any structural elements.
Got it. Existing non-conforming, so it
Yeah,
can
it
remain.
encroaches in the front
Yeah,
setback.
okay.
What does it look like now? Can you show
Oh,
us
right,
the
yeah.
photo?
Oh, yeah. Right now, it's beautiful. So many photos. Here we go. This is the existing garage structure. Where is it? Sorry. Up here.
Okay.
And what are you proposing to do to it?
It's getting painted darker to match the existing house. I believe the garage door is getting painted too. 'cause
It
It's
is.
in good shape. And the roof's getting replaced.
Refinished, yeah, to match the main residence.
The new roof, new standing seam roof.
Okay.
Okay.
And paint. And is any landscaping changing at the front besides the gate with the hedges?
No, I don't think so.
No, nothing
Okay.
drastic.
And then for the driveway, you talked about it, so that's like a permeable or whatever, it meets all the
Yeah, here's-
requirements
Chip seal.
for the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. And then trees, you talked about that. Let me see if I have a question on that at this point. Do you have is that a recommendation from an arborist, the 5-to-1, or
City.
that just the city's recommendation?
Yeah, correct, yeah. So this project, it had unpermitted tree removals.
Yep.
And so in our code, we do have a 5-to-1 replacement ratio for
Okay.
a vegetation removal permit. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's something that's been included in the scope just because of the amount of landscaping and hardscaping that's being proposed.
Got it.
And we did receive a biological assessment, the environmental analyst and I reviewed it. We accepted it. They provided a lot of mitigation measures, and those mitigation measures are included in the landscape plans.
Okay,
It
great.
includes a nesting survey and things like that, and protective fencing for wildlife and things like that.
Okay, and what box sizes are proposed for all the new oaks?
Whatever's required. I think it was 24, but could have been
24.
15.
Or 15, okay.
It's on the plan somewhere.
Yeah,
I hope
Yeah.
so.
okay, that's it for me.
Questions? Board Member Muslihi.
Okay, starting from the entry from the street, can you show us on a site plan relationship of the entry gate that is proposed to the property line setback?
Yeah. So, landscape,
She's got the site plan.
yeah, framing. Yeah, so our property line here, and then our setback line, it follows just in front of those pillars.
So it's like, kind of like in the middle of the setback line?
It is, yeah. We have a 30-foot setback from the edge of the right-of-way.
And the height of the gate and the wall, like the two like stone columns were like 5 foot?
Yeah, I believe 5 exact.
Okay. Okay, my next question is regarding the bridge. I couldn't like see an elevation that shows the bridge. What's the railing proposed for the bridge? And is it visible? We're not seeing any picture from the inside of the site to the neighbor. Is the bridge and the railing is visible from the neighbor or from outside anywhere, or no?
No, the bridge itself would not be visible.
Okay.
I mean, the only place I could think of where perhaps because the Hedgelines 5 is as you come down Summit, maybe if you're back far enough,
Okay.
you could see it through the
What's
bluff.
the railing proposed for it?
Steel.
Steel, yes.
Okay. And the roof material is standing seam metal
Mhm.
roof? Is
Yeah.
it like matte?
It'll be a
color?
gray, yeah,
Okay.
like a darkish gray.
Can you go to the, like, one of the renders? I think it's page, I don't know, 18, like G010 and 11. I'm not sure if it's, no, it's not, sorry.
No, it's
It's like, a little bit scroll down, what is this? 05, just 010 and 0, okay. Yeah, pause here. So the window that it's here, the part that we're seeing the mechanical equipment, and there's this like transom window, which I believe it's for the basement level.
It is, yeah.
So, and there are similar windows like this on the side of this, and I see like there's a transition of like, I saw a detail that you guys have, so the window sits on the stone, but there's like, just like the sill pan, like metal that it's sitting. Is that the correct detail for it?
I'd have to look. It does sound familiar.
My question is, how does it transition
Yeah,
from
between-
is it only the sill of the window sitting on the stone, or is it a metal that because it's happening all around the mass?
I believe it was a stone sill, but it's been a while.
It's A502, if I'm not wrong, detail 18.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah, no, it's here.
You could type the page numbers
Oh,
without scrolling.
Page
It
60.
helps.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I think it's page 59 or 60.
660.
Not this one. 502.
There you
Oh, yeah.
Here we are.
Is that the detail 18, this condition? Or I'm looking at a wrong detail?
The window appears to sit on a steel plate.
Yeah, it is on the steel plate.
Caps the
So
stone.
this is what is happening all around the mass
Yes, yeah.
for the lower windows.
Or 19.
Okay.
both.
Okay, that was all my questions for now.
Okay, thank you. Board Member Ralph, questions?
Yeah, I have a question for Sebastian. For the existing non-conforming garage, could they also change the siding to the fire-resistant dark wood too?
That, in terms of zoning compliance, I know for if I can just recall the zoning code ordinance, if there are any changes to opening sizes and setbacks of non-conforming structures that could require a minor zoning exception, which means a specific finding that this board has to make. The applicant hasn't proposed that. If they're keeping all the same openings, including the same size garage door, and they wanted to change the material, I don't see why not. We've had facade changes before on non-conforming structures, and if it doesn't necessitate any increase of square footage or anything like that, or moving the structure, it's generally something that should smooth sailing,
They
hopefully.
might even go right over it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then another thing, and maybe you already have photos of this, for the entire residence, I'm assuming it can't be seen from the street at all?
No.
Right? No. And then the neighbors, can they see it?
No.
Not really, because it's
this
all
will-
that vegetation?
This will be the easiest way I can convey this. So there's a significant amount of topographical change. So although you don't see the neighboring property, this continues up at 2-foot increments all the way up to the edge of their rear yard where their view is. And we continue down at this slope throughout the property.
Okay.
And as it softens, it gets a little bit more gracious coming down to the lower end of the property.
Okay. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Board Member Richards, questions?
Yeah, sure. Could you open up the previous minutes? I just wanted to
Yeah.
check something. So can you scroll up to the project statement? So previously it was 108% of the max FAR, and now it's 125% in the proposed.
Yeah, I assume, assuming that has to do with the garage. The actual structure itself, the footprint of the building from our original submittal to the current hasn't changed at all. Although in our previous submittal, the goal was to take that existing garage and use it as a shed, to convert it to a shed, which pushed up against making it conforming with how we changed the garage door, because then we were changing the openings. And so now we came back to trying to maintain it as an existing non-conforming garage.
So it got included in the FAR.
Yeah,
Okay.
on the second time around.
Does that sound right, Sebastian?
Is that true?
I believe so. Let me just take a look at the title sheet and see the FAR that we have here, because I think that is what. Yeah, I wonder if. Yeah, I will defer to the applicant on this one. I believe that is why the FAR changed. Let me double check though. But while I do that, if you have any more further questions.
Maybe if you
I'll-
just pull up the FAR calculator, you'll see the garage on there, and then we can answer this question right away.
There you go.
Isn't there a place for the garage somewhere in here?
No, it's like they put the.
No, it's
total-
just the total square footage breakdown, and we just make sure that it
breakup of
matches.
the areas
Yeah.
on the right
Oh, yeah,
side,
I'm-
probably.
But
Or in the
your
square footage
Your
breakdown.
revised description would say that you're keeping the garage, and if you're saying you haven't changed the size of your proposal, you haven't increased the footprint of your proposed residence, then the only way the FAR would be increased is because the garage got included.
And it's over a minimum amount or over a standard amount or something like that.
It is guideline. So
guideline.
yeah, so the FAR, it's not running up against any zoning modifications or any zoning regulations.
Okay, got
It's
it.
just for the bulk, mass, and scale for this board's convenience and review. So
Any more questions?
Yeah, some more questions. So if we can go to the elevation with the stair tower.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, I figured it out at the end of the presentation.
So it looks like, yeah, on that top elevation, are those red things sconces next to the door?
Yeah, these are those night sky compliant lights. This is our placement for those. And then this object would be like a sensor, motion sensor, daylight
Motion
sensor.
sensor. Is there a reason that they're so high in comparison to the other elevations of the house?
No, that's something we can correct.
Okay.
Yeah, those are placed.
And then, so while we're on this elevation, for clarification, so that stone wainscot down there, or mud sill, is in plane with that stair tower? There's not a step in that detail?
Correct.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. If we can go to the page 10, the perspective that you had. Okay, if we could zoom in to the left-hand side over there. Yeah. So I feel like the comment with relating to the stone was in regards to that wing. Is there a reason that those intermediary columns are clad in stone and aren't picking up the steel that it looks like that header, spanning header is made out of?
Yeah, we decided to either make them a little bit further apart and use stone, or to push them next to each other and then do steel, and we chose the first.
And so that is a continuous header that runs across all three of those windows?
Yeah. Well, it's probably three of them, but yeah.
Yeah, we have subtle overhangs on the edge of those using this steel.
And is it a consistent sort of pass with that header? Because it looks like it, and maybe it's perspective, but the ones on the left look like they project maybe a foot or several inches compared to that middle
Supposed to be
portion.
consistent.
Okay.
I had that same question, by the way, if you don't mind me interjecting.
Sure.
On the side where you have the smaller windows above the stone wainscot, it seemed like you had a change in the header height between the windows and the doors. I was wondering if that was
Back on
intentional.
Number 10.
Like the back side, the north side.
That one.
Yeah, maybe.
Not-
Let's go to the elevation.
Oh, I guess it
page.
must be, it's the other side of that
Got
element.
it. Sorry.
Sorry.
Here.
Yeah, right there. And the windows seem higher than the doors. Not that anybody's going to see that. I was just wondering if you said they were supposed to be
yeah.
consistent.
The intent would be to maintain a consistent
that's
head
fine.
height
Go
across
ahead.
it. And
Board
as it
members.
comes around that bedroom too, where that lower awning window is.
Yeah.
Okay. Going to that front gate, and maybe the site plan of that, the size of those columns, they seem a little out proportioned. Is there a reason that they're sized basically, or is it 3 feet by 3 feet, or what's the?
I'd have to, I believe they are 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet thick. 30
more.
inches both ways.
And then I guess the last question I had is, on your landscape plan, it looked like you had called out some area as turf. Is that synthetic grass? Is that artificial grass?
Unfortunately, our landscape architect isn't here, so I'd have to default to whatever their note call out is.
So they call it out as turf, and then it looks like it transitions to another kind of grass or something. I just was trying to figure out if that around the pool it's artificial.
I know one of the discussions I had had with the landscape architect was how to properly plant the transition down the hillside along the edge of the pool at 2-to-1, not being able to maintain something consistent. So the discussion was bringing in like a geotechnical grid and putting turf in that to help maintain stability down the hillside. But I'm not sure if that's the area we're discussing.
Maybe just tell us where's the turf?
It looks
Yeah.
like the turf is all along.
So it doesn't go down the hill.
So it transitions to a different
Turns
actual
into
plant.
planting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then did you have a section through that projecting window on each of the ends? I think that was something that we had requested.
Okay, sections. Not through it, unfortunately. This
Or not the stair window, the one at the
other
other
end.
end, yeah.
Up the back.
No, it does not appear that we included a section for those.
Or do you have a detail cutting through that window?
I didn't see one on that page.
Yeah, unless we put them in the framing. No, unfortunately, none of our sections convey that information.
What about the window detail that shows that protrusion that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Where is it, right there? Sorry, on that sheet.
So with the lintel, this was the design idea for how we would go about meeting that recess. The window itself wouldn't be recessed because we wanted to keep the sill on the interior side without it being flush. And so then the thought was to use just standard steel to create like a hollow stock.
Okay. Those are all my questions.
Okay, I only have one question, and that, it's kind of for staff. Did anybody check that the new pilasters are not going to interfere with the backup of the garage? If you go to the site plan,
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't look like you can back a car up now,
Which pilasters?
because they're right,
Oh, those.
they're kind of right in the way of the backup.
Oh, I see.
And I'm sure transportation reviewed this.
Yes.
Doesn't look feasible to me.
Yeah, transportation and zoning staff did review this for compliance as well as the city traffic engineer. There might have been special provisions because it is a non-conforming structure. But otherwise, I believe the main, yes, they did review it, and they did find that this was this orientation did meet transportation's requirements for backup and parking. But I can have another look at it if it's of concern to the board, and have some more specific comments on that. I don't quite know those ordinances off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, it's fine. Non-conforming is fine, but now you're adding pilasters in the backup area, so it makes it totally different situation now. So, okay,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
my question. Comments? Board Member Rolfe?
Oh. Okay, so overall, I like what you've done with the contrasting materials, and, you know, the detailing you did with the windows, and I think the forms look good. I was gonna say that on the street, it's all kind of light colors, and I was about to say, or I guess I'm saying it, that the wood doesn't, you know, appear compatible with the street, but you can't see it, so I think it's fine to do that. Let's see, and I have another comment regarding the pool. I noticed there's like a big drop, and this is just like a minor comment. I was thinking about the possibility of stepping it with like a planter below it just to break up the massing.
Yeah.
And then regarding the garage, I kind of, since it's on the street where I think I saw a lot of like I saw a mixture of Spanish and other styles, but it was all kind of a light cream. So I've just, whatever you paint it, just to make it consistent with the shades of the other homes.
Yeah.
Let's see, I think that was it. I think it's a nicely done project, so thank you.
Board Member Maslahi?
Yeah, sure. I think from the last time that we've seen the project, a lot of things has been resolved. It's going towards the right direction. There are a lot of things we haven't seen again from the minutes, but some of them I think it has been answered through the presentation and due to like not having like that much visibility from the neighbor. We haven't seen a site section that
Right.
shows the neighbor and the project and the adjacent like golf course like section, but I can see that it's not visible from their property. The only place that I think it's visible is from the golf course.
Yeah.
So I think now with the new approach of changing the materials, adding the shushugiban and the stone and like breaking up the masses, it's like blurred into the nature there more, comparing to like having like more just like one material that was before. And I'm still like, it might be a little bit graphic again. Some of the elevations still, that continuous header.
Yeah.
One elevation is showing that it's breaking up, one elevation is continuous. So I think like, you know, for final, I think like showing elevation that it's showing the consistency of the details, that will be
Absolutely.
helpful for us. And I'm still like following up to the comment of board member Richards about the size. I think like what very matters from the public view is the gate and the columns on the side. I think like studying a little bit proportion of those columns comparing to the gate. And we haven't seen like the gate shows as like a solid metal. We haven't seen any detail of it.
Yeah, and we could definitely visit that and provide detailings on the ratios for the columns, both from the cap to the post.
Yeah, and the gate itself,
Yeah.
we're seeing just like a solid, dark, gray, brown, whatever the standing seam
Yeah.
metal roof is, like just that, and we don't know anything more than that. So I think like having the details and the final result of the gate and what we see from the street, and on the renderings, we're seeing that non-conforming garage has been like matched to that, but just to confirm that moving forward, that's the end result. And I'm not sure about the proposed hedges on the side of the gate, but probably the landscape architect have them on their plans. So maybe for final, we can run through that. And I think that's it. I think it's going through the right direction.
Thank you, Board Member Buslehy, Board Member Richards, comments.
Sure, yeah. I think it's an improvement from the last time we saw it in a lot of really great and successful ways. I would like to see some consistency in the sconce placement relative to the openings. I think that, if you guys would be open to it, pushing that stair out so that it separates and from that water table detail might make that a little bit more successful. I think that, to Shanar's point, the consistency of detailing around the windows, if it's going to have a single spanning header over it, it should be treated as a single opening, I think, and that detail should just be carried between those two areas. And then, studying the width of those gate posts and maybe making sure that the door operation doesn't block your kind of traffic flow, or having a better understanding of how that gate operates would be helpful as well. And then I think, and maybe speaking for myself, but I think that I would support if you guys were open to changing the garage and changing the materiality of that to match the house, that I would be in support of that.
That's good. Board Member Confetti.
Okay. I think overall it's a great project, lots of improvements, such a cool site. It's kind of a bummer that it's not visible anywhere, because I think it is really interesting. So I'm supportive of all the comments about all the details and the lighting and everything. I think I'm less hung up on that. Just again, it's not publicly visible, and I think all the size, bulk, mass scale, palette, everything that's required at PDA is there, or I feel that personally. The one thing I would definitely like to see studied that's already been mentioned is the size of the columns by the gate. 30 inches or something around that just seems so massive. And supportive of changing the siding of the garage. I wouldn't require that. I think it would be nice to relate back to the house, but really just because the only portion you can see from Summit is of the gate in the garage, making that nicer for the neighborhood, and that's your kind of approach to the house. So if there's other improvements that can be made in landscaping or anything like that, I think, again, the gate and having those details, but even the driveway will be a big improvement. It sounds like I can never keep up with what their tree requirement mitigation situation is with 5-to-1. Sometimes we've seen bigger boxes at like a 3-to-1. So that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. I don't know what the leeway is. Sometimes I'm in support of that just because larger trees, fewer, sometimes those actually are more successful. But I don't know if we have any power there or not. I would be comfortable moving on PDA today, but with, summarizing the comments from the board, because I know it sounds like there's a lot of things still maybe to be detailed and studied, so I'm curious to hear what the rest of the board thinks, but those are mine.
And I think, was that it? Yeah. I agree. I think it's a nice project. My only comment is that I feel that the location of your proposed gate is, just one more time going back to the site plan, it just looks like if you're gonna keep the garage with the garage doors, I'm just not understanding why the gate was tilted like that at an angle. It, I think that maybe it was because of wanting to add a man gate,
Yeah.
but I think it's making it difficult to back up. And I think it's awkward in terms of the angle that you approach it, and that it should be more in line with the
Okay, that's a good idea.
the bridge, and that it would not disrupt that whole entry courtyard that's outside of the site if it was a little bit of a different angle.
Yeah.
And I agree that I think it's really important to upgrade the garage so that it doesn't become the leftover stepchild of the project, and it's the only thing that the public sees. And it should be brought up to the beautiful finishes that you have on the rest of the house, of the new house. It shouldn't be left behind. So, so with that, I'm hearing that we might be ready for a project design approval. So I will go ahead and craft a motion for project design approval with the comments that the applicant study the location and detailing of the new entry gates, including the sizes of the columns, and confirm that the garage can still be utilized as a garage with meeting the required backup. It appears that the garage the gates in their current locations are let's see, this could be improved upon and be more in line with the bridge. And so that's the gates. And then return with a full understanding for the board of the proposed changes that are being proposed to the existing garage, including proposed roof replacement, siding, color and/or replacement, garage door treatment, so that the garage is upgraded as part of this project. And study the locations or return with the final locations for all the exterior sconces on the residence. And the board looks forward to seeing the final refinement of the window details, including alignment of the headers around the house. And that is the motion for project design approval with, now we need to make findings that the project is consistent with the scenic character of the city and will enhance the appearance of the neighborhood. The proposed development is compatible with the neighborhood and its size, bulk, and scale as appropriate to the site and neighborhood. The proposed buildings and structures are designed with quality architectural details, and the proposed materials and colors maintain the natural appearance of the ridgeline or hillside. The trees that are proposed to be removed are being replaced at a 5-to-1 ratio according to the city's tree replacement ordinance. And the public health, safety, and welfare appear to be appropriately protected and preserved. And the project generally complies with the Good Neighbor Guidelines regarding privacy, landscape, noise, and lighting. And the development, including proposed structures and grading, preserves significant public scenic views. The development, including the proposed structures and grading, is appropriate to the site, is designed to avoid visible scarring, and does not significantly modify the natural topography of the site or the natural appearance of the hillside the development maintains a scale and form that blends with the hillside by minimizing the visible appearance of structures. Proposed grading will not significantly increase siltation in or decrease the water quality of streams, drainages, or water storage facilities to which the property drains, and the proposed grading will not cause a substantial loss of southern oak woodland habitat due to the required tree replacement.
I'll second the motion.
Here we go. Chair Sherry,
Yes.
Vice Chair Moslihi,
Yes.
Board Member Graffiti,
Yes.
Board Member Richards,
Yes.
and Board Member Wu.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, hold on, I
Oh,
believe Board Member Graffiti has one.
Yeah.
My question was just, do we want it to come back to full board or consent for final?
I'm okay with this coming back to consent because of the specificity of the motion.
Yeah.
How does everybody feel about that?
I can support
I
that.
Okay.
agree.
I can support that.
So the
Yeah.
amended motion would be that this is project design approval and to return to final on consent.
Perfect. And can we get a roll call for that, please?
For that amendment, here we go. Chair Sherry,
Yes.
Vice Chair Moslihi,
Yes. Thank you.
Board Member Graffiti,
Yes.
Board Member Richards,
Yes.
and Board Member Wu.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I just want to announce that that does begin the 10-day appeal period. If anybody would like to appeal this item, you have 10 calendar days to do so from the decision made here today. And if we don't hear anything, we'll see you at final approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, we're quite late. We're a half hour late, so the next applicant has 5 minutes to do their next presentation. Yes, please. Okay, item number 3 is 16 Alameda Padre Serra. Hi, Ernesto. This is, Sebastian, would you like to read this?
I
project
sure
description
can.
For me, thank you.
Yeah, you can always ask me to. You know I like talking. This is item 3, 16 Alameda Padre Serra. It's here for conceptual review. Proposal to convert existing garage to habitable space and a new detached single-story 3-car, 599 square foot garage with a 180 square foot storage area. A new 314 square foot deck is proposed with staircase on top of that new garage. A new pool with spa is proposed in the backyard along with landscaping. And new driveway paving is proposed. A minor exception, zoning exception is required for an opening in the western interior setback. The total proposed 4,187 square feet on a 18,492 square foot lot is 95% of the maximum guideline floor area ratio. No final appealable decision will take place at this hearing. When it's back here for project design approval, neighborhood preservation findings, hillside design district and slope plot findings and grading findings, and minor zoning exception findings would be required. And I am the staff person assigned to this case. My only comment is that the minor zoning exception is for an as-built window in the setback. It's something that we can get comments back on now. I believe the applicant is including it in this scope just to address it. But that's my only comment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sebastian. Your name for the record.
Hi, good afternoon, board members. My name is Ernesto Borgello, and I am the project designer.
Sorry. You're good. There you go.
All right, let me start by giving you some background information on the site. Is it freezing up? Okay, so the project is located at 16 Alameda Padre Serra. It's a single-family residence, single-story, with an attached 4-car garage and a storage area that we will be converting to habitable space. Here's a view from the front. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is a view from APS towards the main house. And this is an existing vegetation area between this property and 2 APS. And so it's going to shield our proposed location for our 3-car garage and storage. You can see some of the vegetation here. We're also proposing a pool with a built-in spa. So this is an overlay of what it's going to look like. Okay. Potential location of the face of the garage is this green tarp. So this is the view from APS towards the garage. It's set back 125 feet. And I'll show you this proposed site plan. Actually, let me start by showing you the existing. Okay, so we have the existing 4-car garage and storage bay that we're going to convert. We're also going to be removing this area of concrete, the area of the driveway that's concrete, to be replaced with landscaping. And here's my proposed site plan. So this will now be habitable. It's about 1,037 square feet. My pool is 20 by 30 feet, and it's 600 square feet. And this is the area of the 3-car garage with the storage area. The 3-car garage is 651 square feet, and the storage area is 200 square feet. And I have an exterior staircase going up to the proposed roof deck. And the roof deck is 312 square feet, and it's this gray shaded area. Okay. We're also proposing to replace the existing concrete driveway with a permeable paver, and that area consists of 3,665 square feet. Okay, Sebastian mentioned the minor modification request, and it's for this as-built door. So it's encroaching about a foot into the 5-foot setback line. So we're going to request that modification for that. I'm sorry, let me show you. Okay, so this is a proposed floor plan after the conversion. So we're adding a bedroom, a couple bathrooms, a family room. And here's the, let me zoom in on the door. So here, this is the as-built door that's encroaching into the 5-foot setback line. It's actually 6 inches. Okay, so this is my proposed floor plan at the garage structure. It's a 3-car garage with an attached storage area. And this is our staircase going up to the deck. And this is the roof deck plan. 314 square feet. And the reason why we did a hip roof is to use a hip roof edge as a guardrail. It's 42 inches high. And so it's not going to be visible from the street. And I'll show you on the elevations. So this is going to be a front elevation, and it will be visible from the street, but you won't be able to tell there's a deck up there. I try to keep the railing and the stairs to the back of the property, so they're concealed. And so your elevation number 1 shows the back end of the structure with the staircase going up to the deck. And it's going to be a post and metal post and guardrail, wire guardrail. And here's a couple examples of what we go with. It's a floating staircase. And I'm going to bring the materials from the main house over to the proposed garage structure, which is a smooth stucco. The windows are Anderson. It's a metal wood-clad window. The color is called Stormy Blue. And so basically, we're just matching the front house when it comes to the roof material, which is a metal composite. And I'm also matching the roof overhang, which is 2 feet wide. And yeah, those are pretty much the details on the architectural side of things. We're pretty much matching the front house. And the front house is actually under construction now. It's under a separate permit. Yeah, so let me show you what it's going to look like with the garage. Yes, here's some pictures of the existing structure. So this is the existing garages to be converted. And this is the area of the proposed pool. So the area is pretty flat, the grade, when it comes to grade. So the pool's going to be on grade, and so is the garage. And this is kind of the garage would be somewhere in here, in that area. Existing house under remodel. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So this is the existing house. It's about 15 feet to the top of the ridge, and we are at 12 and a half feet at the proposed garage. So we're lower than the existing single-family residence. And it's set back 125 feet from the public right-of-way. So it will be visible. It's basically, you're looking at the green tarp, is the face of the garage. This gate and wall are proposed under a different permit, and they're permitted, and they're currently being built. So that's why you don't see them there now. Okay. I have a preliminary landscape plan. And I mainly wanted to address the water runoff from all the impervious surfaces that we're proposing. And I kind of mainly stuck around the pool area with my landscape design. Sorry, it keeps freezing up. And so the intent behind the planter areas is they're bioretention planter areas and planting areas. So they might look out of place, but the intent is for the downspouts to drain into those areas. And we got some pretty positive feedback from creeks regarding our storm waste management plan. So I pretty much aligned it with the planting area. So everywhere you see these bioretention areas, it's the planters for the landscaping. And I wanted to create a buffer between, I wanted the planters to coincide with the walkways and create a buffer area between the pool and the structures. And all the plants are low water use. We do have some palm trees around the perimeter of the pool. But besides that, all the other plants are low water use. Okay, and that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Okay, public comment.
Okay, I did not receive any correspondence on this particular item. I have not received any speaker slips, and, I'm sorry. We do have one speaker slip for Leon Smith, if he'd like to make his way to the podium to present his comments. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Leon Smith. I live at 1812 Overlook Lane, adjacent property. I want to. We've been there about 10 years now. We've been up from Laguna Beach for several years, and we like the neighborhood, and we really are pleased that you're going to do something about the place. That's been vacant, kind of an eyesore for as long as we've been there, for 10 years. I do have a couple of comments on the project. And let me start with we've been hearing a lot of construction going on over the past year, and you've had 2 stop orders put on the building, but you keep blasting away. It's been for about a year now. So my question is, what's going on in there? Can you answer that one?
You can't answer it because you can talk to him afterwards. I encourage you guys
Oh,
to do
okay.
that.
All right. I know what the
is-
rules are. Okay.
Right now, you've got the podium.
Okay.
It's all
right, so
you.
that's my one question. The other question is the deck on top of the garage. We only have about 30 feet of common property, between our place at 1812 Overlook and 16. But I'm just curious about whether or not you're going to be looking into our yard from the top of that deck. And number 2 concern would be any barbecue going on up there, or is that a no-no? What type of surface do you have on top of the proposed? So I do have some view considerations in terms of our impact on our property. And I'm surprised people on Cedar didn't come here, but you're looking right into Cedar from there, but apparently they're not concerned. The approved permits that you have, you talked about 2025-01712, 2025-02977. I wasn't noticed on anything like that. Was that a DR that had to be done?
It was
for those
probably
permits?
because the permit did not require noticing because there was no
Oh, okay.
discretionary review.
Okay. All right. So
But, and then just try to find a way to wrap up because your time's out. But I'll let you
is
keep
it
going.
2-bedroom or more? I couldn't get that from the plans. You're adding,
You,
okay, so how
you know
many
what,
bedrooms?
We'll ask that question for you.
How many bedrooms? And I guess that's a wrap.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, here, let me get that back.
Okay, questions from the board?
Oh,
Who has a question?
Actually,
Sorry.
Chair Sherry, is if you,
Having
Is there
checked,
more public comment? Sorry.
yeah, just having checked on our Zoom for visibility, we have not received any raised hands on this item. Thank you.
Got it. Sorry I cut you off. Okay, questions from the board. Board Member Richards is looking at me.
So just a point of clarification from staff, the changes to the main house that are currently permitted, that they didn't require to be come in front of our board?
That's correct. So the trigger for this particular project is that there is a detached 3-car garage being proposed with a roof deck, and also a minor zoning exception. For this project, though it's in the Hillside Design District, much of the work is below 17 feet. And the slope of the lot, I believe, is only 6%. So it didn't quite qualify for the 20% trigger. And so, yeah, the trigger is mostly just for the 3-car garage. And that's the scope of the work today. Yeah.
Is there any stipulation where it's like over the course of 5 years, incremental development would trigger something like that?
There is another trigger where if it's presumed that work will be proposed that will trigger SFDB design review, and there was work done within the last 2 years that didn't, that it would be up to the applicant to prove that work was separate from that discretionary approval. For this particular scope of work, though, the scope of work was able to capture all the reasons why it was triggered, if that makes sense. So, and for us, Again, it was just the garage and the roof deck
Okay.
that brought us here.
The
today.
reason I ask is just the changes that I'm seeing in the front facade with the chimney and the columns being pretty significant, it feels like, especially with the other part of this project, but that's
not
already
our
been
purview.
approved, so, okay. Okay, I guess questions. So you're proposing a pool, what kind of fencing for pool safety is being proposed for the property?
I don't have fencing at this point. It's conceptual, but I do have a lot of area around the pool that it's easy to install one or propose a fence. Let me show you the site plan. Actually, let me show you the landscape plan. So we have room to install a fence around the perimeter of the pool decking.
Okay, and that's where you're looking at proposing that?
Definitely, yes.
Okay. If you could go to the garage structure,
Elevation?
elevations, yeah. The plate height, or I guess the roof slope, is that matches the main house?
That's correct. It's 5 to
Okay.
12 pitch.
And then the plate height has been increased to try and accommodate that 42-inch railing?
Actually, the plate height, so for example, at the storage area, so you start off 8 inches off the grade to meet code, and then it's a 8 feet 4 inch plate height.
Okay,
I had to get creative with the height after that to match, or sorry, to meet the 42-inch height for my guardrail.
okay,
But the plate height is just a normal plate height.
okay. But it's different from the main house? It
The
looks
plate
like
height?
it is, yeah.
No, the
Just-
plate height, it's similar. I think it's 8 feet at the main house, but the main house is, it's not on grade.
Okay, I'm just looking at that elevation to the south or rear, and in comparison to the main house, how much room there is above those doors and windows.
Got it. Yeah, so this is the main house. The existing elevations at the main house. And so your question is the gap between. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, so once I start having to play around with the plate height at the roof area, it lifts it up, yeah.
Okay,
It raises up the height.
all right.
And obviously, the distance between the header on the window or door.
I think that's all my questions.
Questions, Board Member Ralph?
Oh, yeah. I was just curious how you plan on detailing the guardrail on the second level. Not so much the metal railing, but just when you're inside, is it just gonna be stucco and then like a metal cap? And then I was wondering like what kind of flooring material?
We're still exploring
You're
those
exploring
final,
the-
yeah.
okay, cool.
Right, yeah.
And then, is there, or is it just, what's the program at, or what's the use gonna be of that area?
Well, obviously, it's a 3-car garage.
No, no, no,
or
no,
The
the
top.
roof deck, yeah, yeah.
Just to look over into the pool area.
Okay, that's
Yeah, there's a little bit of ocean view, not too much, but there's a tiny little speckle of ocean view, and that's what kind of motivated the client to propose that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, do you know if any of the neighbors can see this area?
No, so let me show you the aerial view. So 21 seater will have they'll be able to see the back of the structure. And what I could do to screen that, we could provide some vegetation along the rear of the structure. So let me go to the site plan. So 21 seater might be able to get a view of the back end here, right? 2 APS is screened by this heavy vegetation on the side. And that vegetation is on their side of the property line. This is 2 APS.
Do you have any more questions?
Sorry, one last question. How did you decide to put the staircase on like that side versus like the side near the pool?
We wanted to hide it from the pool, so.
Okay, that
That was
makes
the client's request to hide it, yeah.
Cool, that's all.
Questions?
Sure. Okay, now that we're on this page, there's this image from the street that shows 3 palm trees, which I know that the main house is not in our purview, but when I look at the Google Earth, there's no palm trees. Has it been removed, or
I'll follow up on that.
Are they there?
I'm not sure. It might,
I was
I'll
just
double check on
curious.
that. That's a good question.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can we go back to what is it? The structure that has the roof deck sheet, with the elevations. Yes, just stay there. So on the side yard, where it says the west elevation, you don't have any openings, correct?
No openings.
And that's exterior light?
There's a
number
light. Yes,
2?
there's a
Okay.
light.
There's only a light.
Yeah.
And can you go to the site plan and show me, or maybe a landscape plan? Is there any landscape proposed on that side where we
is.
see the whole solid wall from the neighboring?
Sorry, it keeps freezing up. Sorry.
Okay, no
I have to
worries.
stall a little bit.
So first show us, like, where's that wall that has no opening and only
Here.
okay.
So no openings. No
And
openings here either.
Can you tell us approximately how tall those and the proposed landscape will be, and if there are existing landscape?
There's no
there?
existing landscaping. It's an open area.
Okay.
These are low water use, so they're low. There's nothing high proposed now. But going forward, we could propose something more of a screen element to the landscaping and have an area to do it. So I have a 3 feet wide planter area where I could propose
Okay.
something that's more vertical.
Okay. And can we go back to that elevations that has the roof deck?
Sure.
While you're going there, the existing sheds on the site has been removed.
They're going to be
correct?
removed under one of the other permits.
Other
Yeah,
permits.
other
Okay,
permits,
so
yes,
it's
that's
not
correct.
in our purview.
No.
So while you're going there, I know that the main house is under construction and probably it's the same chosen color of the blue, stormy blue.
Stormy blue, yes.
Was there any inspiration for that in the neighborhood?
That was a request, actually, sorry, let me backtrack. So that request came from the client, right? He picked the color.
Okay.
I could do a study.
I mean, like, it's matching the existing house. I
Yeah.
don't think it's I was just curious because, like, of this structure that is under our purview, but if it's already done in the main house.
So I'm matching the main house at this point, right?
And the material of the roof as well, the metal composite is the same.
That's correct,
And
yes.
the house is getting re-roofed.
No, the house,
Oh.
the existing roof on the main house is staying.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in good shape still.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you are matching this roof to that, or?
That's correct.
Okay.
I am.
And I can see on the south elevation, there's like a column under the stair. Is that a steel column? What is that? What's the size of that? Is it a round column?
It's conceptual at this point.
Okay.
It's going to be a floating staircase, so I'll be exploring that further as we move along.
Okay.
And like I said before, that staircase can be screened with landscaping, because I have planters that wrap around it, so I could propose some vertical landscaping if the board would
Okay.
like that.
And my last question would be, have you studied the neighborhood that for compatibility reasons, are there any other roof decks above this accessory structures in the neighboring?
There is on Cedar, but you have to go quite a way up
Okay.
Cedar, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was my questions.
Okay, questions, board member Graffiti?
I might have them all answered. Can you confirm, is it a 3-bedroom? Or
The
what?
main house,
Or just the entire?
3-bedroom.
3-bedroom,
Yeah.
okay, great. And We can tell from satellite the neighbors. Okay, I think all my questions were answered. Thanks.
What's that light for on the side of the garage that doesn't have a walkway or any windows?
Sorry, repeat that again?
What's the light for that you said?
The light, there's landscaping back there.
Huh?
There's landscaping behind the
the-
building.
Right.
And so if somebody wants to walk back there for, I don't want somebody tripping back.
Through the plants?
There's like a little walkway.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see the walkway. Okay. I just saw
But we could,
plants.
if the board,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
That's a good suggestion.
It's okay. He can have a light. I didn't know what it was for.
Safety.
And then the plate height is 10 feet on the garage. You said it was 8 feet.
From,
Look at
sure.
you even have it
I can show you the section.
dimensioned, I think.
I can show you a
Go to
section
the
there.
garage again.
Give me a second, let me pull up the section.
Go to the elevation. It shows up on the elevation.
That south elevation, number one, or?
The 8'4", I think, is the ceiling height.
Yeah, not that elevation. It's the zoom out.
The left one.
It's
It might be from the finished garage floor.
It's the south elevation. It's the 10-foot plate,
Is the number, what number is it?
Number one.
Number one.
number one.
That's to the top of the deck. So my deck finish would be at 10 feet. Here,
But, so the 8'4"
is my ceiling height.
that's your ceiling height.
Yeah,
And so your plate height would be higher than your ceiling.
definitely. And that's where it's kind of hard to explain. So I had to get creative to match that, to get that 42-inch height for my guardrail. So let me show you a section drawing. Maybe that will answer your question. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So my ceiling height would be, you saw the call at 8 feet 4 inches is here, right? And then the 10-foot height, plate height for the deck is here. That's the 10-foot mark. So I'm having to double up. I'm having to put my joist on top of joist to get that 42-inch height and keep my pitch at 512.
Okay. Comments? Who wants to go first?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that it bugs me from the outside that plate height and the spacing difference is what it is, and I think I wouldn't be opposed personally. I'd like to hear from the rest of the board, but bringing that down to match the main house and just doing a simple railing at the very top, I think that little detail, if it's like 6 inches off, might just disappear and make everything feel a little bit more cohesive. And then, yeah, it would be nice to see a path lighting on that backside as opposed to something mounted on the wall. Those are my comments.
Board Member Graffiti.
Okay, great. Yeah, we're here for concept, so I'm not getting in all the nitty-gritty of details, but generally in support of the plan. I actually feel like the location of the roof deck is is very thoughtfully cited when I just look at the satellite view and where the neighboring residences are and the existing vegetation. I don't have any concerns with that or where the stairs are, and even the plantings along the side with no windows. There are some with height, like there's a cordyline that gets a little taller, but there's not really even anyone to see it, so it doesn't bother me. In general, I think the scope of what we're reviewing today is not super visible from the public roads. And I don't disagree with what Board Member Richards mentioned about the railing, but it's not a deal breaker for me, and I just look forward to seeing more details of the project, and happy to be supportive of this from here.
Thank you. Board Member Mosley.
Yeah, sure. I think, yeah, at the concept level, when we were looking at the site plan, where the pool is located is very well situated in the side, and like most of the, it's like surrounded by the main house, and like the location of this, the garage and the accessory building that has the roof above it. It's very far away from the 1812 neighbor that had the public comment, and I recommend for the next round have dimensions to the neighboring properties and structures to show how far we are. And I agree with the comment made by Board Member Richards about the amount of the plaster that we're seeing above those doors. I would prefer to see it consistent with whatever the main house is, because this is an accessory structure and we don't want it to be like more dominant. It would be nicer to have at least consistent, amount of plaster above the door with the main house, or less in accessory structures, not more. And I think that will help a little bit for the bulk and scale of that to come down. And still, I think it might be a little bit challenging to resolve the same way that you have resolved the roof guardrail. And for the next round, I think like we would like to see like the floating stair, if you are doing it floating, or if you're adding a structure, like think about the proportion of the column. And I think like that side of the west side, which doesn't have any opening, it's just kind of like having just like one lighting on it doesn't make sense. And if it's like a little bit like blurred with landscaping and like a lighting inside the landscaping, that will be nicer. I don't think it's visible from anywhere, but if it is, or for the sake of the cohesiveness of the project. And I think that's it.
Thank you. Board Member Roth.
Yeah, hi. Would you mind showing me the roof plan for the garage again? Thank you. Okay. Okay, so I don't really have much to say. But yeah, I just agree with what they were saying about, maybe add railing on top of the roof. And then I agree, maybe just remove the light from the wall in the landscape and just do landscape lighting. I think that would be a cleaner solution. One minor thing, I think on the east elevation, the door height, it's just, that's like, you just saw, it's minor. But that, if you could make that consistent, that would be great.
At the garage?
Head height of that door is lower.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all. I think it matches the house nicely. Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to comment that I don't think there's a problem with the door that you're asking for a waiver for, or a minor
that's fine.
MZE. So that, I don't think anybody has a problem with.
No.
I think that unless you have, well, you wouldn't have such low garage doors if you needed if you had a big Sprinter that you needed to have that plate height. So, that, I think the reduction of that massing is a really good idea. And also, unless you want to be in a hole when you're sitting down, you might want, it's going to be better for the railing anyway, so you can see out over it. Because when you're sitting down, 42 inches is pretty high.
Can I comment?
So,
You want to comment?
Oh, yeah, really quick.
So you guys don't mind seeing the guardrail?
Nope.
Okay, perfect.
No,
Does
I
that
think-
affect
I was
the
trying to
finished
conceal it.
floor of the deck? Because my only thought was, will that affect if they have a little bit of a view? I don't know how much if it.
No, he's not going to, we're not saying raise
Okay.
the whole thing up, so
No,
we see
I
a
thought
deck.
you were, that's why I'm saying you're bringing it down, but I'm saying, will that affect, that would be my only thought, would that affect the view that is trying to be captured if we're raising or if we're lowering the finished
It's
floor
going
of
to
the deck?
improve the view, and it's going
Actually,
to
it will drop
solve
the
the
level.
problem
Oh, it
of
will,
the massing.
okay.
This is
No,
going to
actually, it will drop the level of
This
you're
is going to
right.
get
Yeah,
reduced.
no,
So
I understand, but they're not going to be looking at that if they're standing. and the finished floor of where they're standing will be dropped. So that would just be something to consider. I don't know if it will affect it or not.
It will, because when I was doing my study on that, I kind of wanted to be as high as possible without.
So that's something maybe
So
to
if I drop it-
study and,
Yeah, let me finish my comment.
okay.
Okay, so my comment is to study the plate height for ways of reducing the mass between the garage door header and the eave, because the massing is disproportionate to the overall facade. And also, I agree with Board Member Richards, or whoever it was that said that we don't want the accessory building to be higher in appearance than the main house, even though it's so far back. So that's that comment. Is that clear? You can come back with whatever you want. If you want to reduce it and you wanted to reduce the ceiling height so that you don't have a little railing, that's fine too. But however you want to resolve that.
Got it.
It just, so that's one issue. And then that was my only comment. So this is a indefinite continuance back to the full board. And no action will be taken at this meeting. So does anybody want to form a motion, or do you want me to? I've got some notes.
Sure.
Okay, let's just go. So look, applicant to reduce the massing between the garage door header and the eave because the amount of plaster that is proposed is disproportionate to the garage door header relative to the plate height. The board would be receptive to seeing a partial railing above the roof as a solution. The board looks forward to further detailing of the stairs and the other architectural components of the property, including doors and windows and railings. The overall concept is appropriate to the site due to its placement and setback from the street. Return with a graphic representation on the site plan showing the neighboring properties. And the board supports the minor zoning exception for the encroachment of the as-built door into the interior setback, as it is not visible from any public view. Do I have a seconder for the motion?
I'll second that.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Chair Sherry,
Yes.
Vice Chair Mosley,
Yes.
Board Member Kafidi,
Yes.
Board Member Richards,
Yes.
and Board Member Rowe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
We're even further behind than we were before. So the next applicant has 3 minutes to do the presentation. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can read this one in the.
And Sebastian's going to read the description for our next and final item at 1111 Garcia Road.
Sure. So This item's here it's a new item for conceptual review. It's its first hearing. It's a proposal to demolish and rebuild a 465 square foot accessory bedroom attached to a 3,439 square foot two-story single unit residence with a 665 square foot basement located in the Hillside Design District. The project includes converting the existing shed roof over the bedroom to a gable roof and exterior alterations to the residence, which include replacement of board and batten siding, windows, and doors. Site work includes installation of new permeable pavers and a portion of the driveway. The proposed total of 3,429 square feet on a 21,843 square foot lot, 73% of the maximum guideline floor to lot area ratio. No final appealable decision will take place at this hearing. Neighborhood preservation findings and hillside design district and slope lot findings will be required when the project is reviewed for project design approval. And I do have staff comments on this one. This project was initially routed to Mary Tarnowskaya for a consent level review. But after the first round of review, we did find some somewhat substantial unpermitted work, it appears like. Portions of the second story look like they were approved without permits, and some work on the first story looks like it was approved without or performed without benefit of permitting. There are some photos that the applicant can use showing some of the satellite imagery from the 60s and 70s, but staff still thought it was best, even after that first round, to just get a very broad feedback about the kind of design considerations the applicant can consider moving forward as they move to address some of these violations that we found on our first round. So again, we're just here for very broad feedback, and hopefully the applicant can shed some more light on some of those issues. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm the architect, Jose Luis Esparza, for the owner, Sergio Verduzco. And let me just start by saying that the owner bought this house about a year ago, unaware of any unpermitted construction. The project is located above or below APS in the area. I believe that the bowl is down here somewhere. So it's quite steep in between here. And if we, let's see, I'll go to the photos. This is a photo of looking from the street as I entered the driveway. This is the neighbor that's at the front. The site is back here. This oak tree is on the property, right at the edge. This is backing up a little bit, actually sitting on the street. So you can see that very little can be seen from the street. This is the neighbor's garage as you drive down the easement. This is from the easement looking back towards Santa Barbara. This is the front of the building. This is a kitchen side entrance. And then this area down here is a basement. It is finished. And the one permit plans that were in the archives were that this balcony was brought in for review because it's in the setbacks and was approved. And the footprint from that permit matches what is there now, but apparently not what, they didn't look at the whole site as a permit. The entrance to the project is here. As you can see on some of these photos, the siding is not in great shape, which is one of the things that we're addressing. This is on the northern side. This oak tree is on the property, and the main floor is actually quite level. There's only a step between the front and the back. And then this is the area that we were going to be, basically tearing down and rebuilding with a different roof than is there. Right now, this is the way that it's existing. And then from down below, looking towards the back of the property, this is the area that we're proposing to rebuild and redo the siding. Closer up, and from down below, this is looking at that lower basement area. So let me see. I think we're at trying to zoom in, sorry.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying
And
I'm
it's a
trying to
touch
find
screen.
the.
It's a touch screen if that helps, like if you want to zoom in. yeah.
Actually, it is not anymore.
It is
'cause
not
we
anymore?
have an old, we replaced the laptop, so, yeah.
What are you looking for?
We're at 73% of FAR.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Continue.
Okay. Okay. So here's the site plan. As you come up that easement, you come into these two parking spaces. The project showed that there was a garage sometime on the site, but I can't figure out where the garage was or used to be. This is the only area that I think it could have been, or maybe it was a carport. But we're proposing to have the two parking spaces here, and they're extra wide so that they comply with maneuvering. So you can come in and turn around and go back out straight. This is the back area that we're proposing to rebuild. This is a larger scale or further out at a 1:16, showing the site how it comes out to Garcia. This is the floor plan, quite simple. You come in, kitchen, dining, living, laundry, office/bedroom, bath, and 2 bedrooms. And then this was the area that we're proposing to rebuild, which is another bedroom, or we call it accessory building. And then it does have an upper floor, and there's a bedroom up there. And then this is the basement. So this is the elevations. So we're proposing to do new board and bat with hardy plank, because we're in the high fire. When we re-roof, we're going to do a shed roof instead of a gable roof instead of doing a shed roof over that bedroom. All right, this is the roof plan. Here's some of the details. We are proposing to replace all the windows. Most of them are like for like as far as size, except for the bedrooms. This is the existing floor plan, so we're not proposing any additional square feet of what is actually there. Again, we'd be changing these windows, location and size, but most of the other ones would remain the same size. This was built probably in the 50s or 60s, so a lot of the glazing is single pane, especially in the living room area. And this is the way that it exists. In this accessory bedroom area, the windows were jealousy windows. That's why there you see the slotted. So those that have no U value or and then this is the color board with matching the existing roof and
Can you zoom in on that?
I'm sorry?
Please, can you zoom in on it? It's really
Sure.
small. Please.
And I do have the original so that you can see the actual colors. It's like a silver birch. And then we're using Vista paints with the accent, or not accent, but oil rubbed bronze windows to replace the existing ones. They're aluminum. And these are the areas that were in question as far as having been permitted. The upper floor here and what we were wanting to demo and rebuild. And these are the what planning was able to pick up, where it showed different years of 1957. And then in '68, it looks like it was mostly there, but there's no records of the permits. And in '69, it looks like it was all there. And then some additional photos looking up towards the neighbors to the north. And then all the way down from the lower portion of the site looking back up. This is looking from the parking space down. There's a little like pebble or cobble path going down. And then this is the property line between the northern neighbor and where the driveway ends. And then again, looking back towards the street. This is looking behind the house at the neighbors. And this is a closer view of between the house looking west with the northern neighbor on the right. And then terraces down, and you can see the slope, down towards the bowl. I believe that's part of the bowl. Yeah. And then just another screenshot of, the backyard. That's all the way back, and then from the driveway. So that's what we're proposing. If you have any questions, or if you want me to elaborate on anything.
We'll ask questions after public comment, but thank
Sure.
you. Does that complete your presentation?
That completes my presentation.
Okay. Public comment.
Okay. Here we go. I did not receive any public correspondence for this particular item. So we'll next move on to virtual comment on Zoom. Do not see any raised hands. And I have not received any speaker slips. So with that, I'll turn that back over to Chair Sherry.
All right, thank you. Questions? Who wants to start? Question? Go ahead.
I'd be happy to. I saw there's like a proposed basement plan, but is it just existing and just new windows?
Correct. The basement is existing. It is finished. We would just be replacing the windows.
Okay.
More questions?
I do have a couple of questions. So just to clarify on the project description, can you show us that 465 square foot accessory bedroom. On the plans, it says 501 square feet, that,
It's right here?
so it's that? Okay.
Yes. Do you
so
want to
it's
see
like
it
a-
on the floor plan?
No, that's fine. I
Okay.
was just, because of the difference of the square footage, I was a little bit confused. Okay. And the other thing on your elevations now, I think like they're proposed elevations, you're showing the railings like pattern. Is that what you're going with? Because now I'm seeing like it's like a wrought iron, like, just like a different style. Are you changing to this, and what is that?
Yes. It would be wrought iron, but it would be a mesh.
Okay, and those trusses, like structural support for the balcony, it's added, it's new, correct?
No, those were
Can you
existing.
show us on one image? I don't know, I didn't see it. Maybe on your second tab that you have the
On the photos
photos?
or?
On the photos, yeah, I want to see
Okay.
a photo of that. Maybe I missed it.
Oh,
Where are they?
shoot.
Yeah, that's,
The-
my question too.
They were in the ABR approved drawings.
but they're not existing. So that's like, yeah, that was like, I thought it's
missed that they
proposed.
took them out.
Disappear with the portrait from the last project.
And
That's a
can you
structural
scroll,
no-no.
now that we're in images, can you scroll, I think like up, there's oh, here. So that rail on the, like the step that it's going down on the site, is
Yes.
that to remain, or is there any change proposed to it? It doesn't seem safe.
This one, I'd have to see if there's a drop. I don't believe there's a drop. It's just a handrail to grab onto as you go down.
And now that you're here, so the board and batten that it's proposed, so like on this, we are seeing like some of them are horizontal, some of them are vertical. What is the proposed end
And
result?
it's vertical, and
All
it's hardy plank boards with bats at 12 inches on center,
Mm-hmm.
and to clean up the exterior and to really this is not in good shape, and
Mm-hmm.
in the same elevation you have conflicting sighting,
see
so it's a little bit of a mishmash where they went in and repaired it, but they didn't do it well.
One last question. So like the windows, of course, they're like single pane. Are they?
Yes.
Any of them proposed, especially the large one in the balcony, proposed to reglaze to safety glass, tempered or laminated glass?
Well, we're replacing them with dual pane Sierra Pacific.
Oh, okay, sorry. So
and-
the changes are, windows are changing, so you're
Right.
changing all, okay.
Right.
I see that.
It's all of them, because if you notice, even here in the kitchen, that's a jealousy window, which when it blows, it doesn't give you any.
Yeah. Okay, that was all my
Any protection.
questions.
More questions?
Could you bring a photo of the bedroom area, the 465 square feet? And then,
that's one.
actually, yeah, can you go back to that other photo? Actually, scroll down. Okay,
Yeah, this is the back.
Okay, the back. Is anything being proposed under, like supportive posts or anything under that element? Or is that condition remaining? Or like, can you walk me through what's happening in that corner?
Sure. Well, as you can see, they did do a little bit of fixing here. This is closer to the color that we're proposing.
Okay,
It was originally this plywood, that unfinished plywood. And right here, the grade in the understory, it follows basically the outside.
I guess more the intention of my question is, as that kind of second story element is stacked beyond the first story element, are there any details being added to visually improve kind of the weight of that building over the second story or over the first story? Like, as it looks like it's more visually supported, I
We
guess.
weren't, we haven't included any like corbels or,
Yeah.
or, outlook
Okay.
beams. And the whole objective to rebuilding this is that that roof leaked and it caused damage in the roof joist and the floor joist.
Okay.
So we're going to replace all of that. So we do have the option of either adding actual structural cantilever beams
Okay.
or even just doing plantons to visually support it.
And did you guys consider like changing the floor area just to better engage with the first story and with the other second story portion of the home?
We did not. One of the things that makes it a little bit difficult, if I can go back to the floor plan, is that the access is, fairly close to the overhang. So I believe the connection is like right here.
Okay.
Where the cantilever is. It could be cut back about 2 feet without, losing anything in the architecture. But at the same time, we thought that if we kept the same footprint and square footage, that we were just,
Okay. And the program's not changing, like bathroom locations or things like that aren't changing?
No, this bathroom we're rebuilding.
Okay.
Again, because of the condition,
Yeah.
it wasn't good. And these bathrooms are existing.
Okay. And then from which portion of the bowl is this visible? Or do you have any photos like from the bowl looking up at the hillside?
I could not pick it out.
Okay.
Yeah, when you look at it, when you look down at the bowl, I mean, it's you don't see much.
You can see the roof
Okay.
of the stage.
Okay. And then I just wasn't sure from seeing anything. And then for landscape, is there any changes to landscape?
We're not proposing any
Okay.
changes to the landscaping.
Okay.
We've got a stone retaining on
Yeah.
the north side, and then we have stone, coming down the hill.
I see like a big roll of artificial turf. Is something happening with that?
The owner is the landscape contractor.
Oh,
So
okay.
he had that from one of his jobs.
Got it. Okay.
And I did notice in one of the photos that I don't know if it's in this one, that he had put some of it down below.
Okay.
That's just on the driveway.
Okay.
And
Got it. Okay.
yeah, I think he
No.
put some in
More
this
questions?
area.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. You can see it right there.
I had a question. Did you say that there are no illegal, that the upper level's legal and this room that he's rebuilding is legal?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question one more
You found
time?
permits for the upper level and the new room that is proposed in this application to be rebuilt. Those are legal rooms that have permits.
Let me double check. Hold on.
Because I think that you said you tried to find permits and you couldn't find permits.
Yes, and I think there's some images there if you go to through the chair to the applicant, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see some of the old aerial images. That kind of gives an idea of what was there, but let me double check my
That
records
doesn't show
here.
anything.
I think he misspoke earlier when he meant to say work was different. Oh, I don't want to speak for him, but I think.
Yeah, here, let me,
I'm trying to figure out what's in our purview.
so,
Like, what are we supposed to be looking at? It doesn't say that we're supposed to be looking at the upper level of the house, and it doesn't say that anything's illegal. So that assumes that you found permits for all of this work.
so here, give me one moment here. Yeah, so a single-story addition constructed in the 60s and a two-story addition sometime in the 70s, those two additions do not appear to have been permitted. So it is the upper floor. So the portion of the upper floor that they're planning to rebuild, that is the portion that we don't have records for at the moment.
So it's as-built.
Correct.
What they're calling, just for the board's benefit.
Yeah,
What they're
clarification.
calling is the accessory bedroom is as-built.
Correct.
So we can assume that it wasn't ever there. And what about the upper level?
So a single-story addition was constructed, and let me see if,
Because that changes our entire review of this project.
yes, and we wanted to have it here today to get broad feedback as the applicant works through those unpermitted structures in terms of massing, material choices, and other things under the purview of the board. So yes, it really does. I'm trying to see if I can find anything in the corrections here that we provided that outlines it, but I believe those satellite images that you see there are kind of, yeah, it's highlighted in red. I think there is a hand drawing there too, up in the next page above. Yeah. So yeah, so that's a single story addition there in that bedroom on the right, and then the existing accessory bedroom. That structure is also unpermitted from
But what
from
about
our
the upper
current
level?
records. So I believe that yeah, because what is this? Is this the first floor? As-built
You know,
addition.
we don't really have time to figure this all out.
It
to do
includes the
this.
second story above that bedroom portion.
What includes the second story?
So where the closet is and the bedroom, so the trapezoidal
On the
shaped.
lower level?
Correct, yeah, that also includes the story above it.
What about it? Is it illegal?
It's unpermitted, correct?
It's unpermitted. Okay, that
Correct.
changes the whole project,
Yes,
just so you guys know.
So on the scope of project, there's no enforcement case already?
No.
There is no.
there is no code compliance case. So the applicant, and maybe the applicant can shed some light on this, they came in for the scope of work that's currently shown on the plan, and when we were doing the research, we uncovered all this. So this is just the first round of review. They've only gotten one letter back, and it's going to be up to the applicant how they wish to address some of these changes. But because they're so inherent to the mass, bulk, and scale of the structure, we wanted to get it here for very broad comments very early on.
Okay, I get it now, but
yeah.
I think that the project description should have stated,
Okay,
it really shouldn't have come here unless you know what we're reviewing, because
Okay.
it makes a difference on how,
Absolutely.
on our comments, because
Yeah.
we're not going to make any comments on something that is recognized as legal, but we're going to make comments on things that
Okay.
are part of the project.
yeah, thank you for that
So,
feedback.
So that being said, that answers one of my questions. And on the west elevation, really quickly, the windows on that trapezoidal portion of the west elevation, are you west? The other west? Yeah, that.
This is the existing, do you want
No,
the new one?
Okay, go to the photos then, looking east, the photo that you have looking east toward the ocean. The one up that you're almost there. Those windows. So that is, if that's looking east, then that's the west elevation. So can I see your proposed west elevation?
Sure.
You might not be calling it the west elevation. You might be calling it the north elevation.
Is it east?
Because then that's confusing, because
Yeah, that is
it
confusing.
says,
But it
when you
should
look
be
at that
west.
photo, it says looking east, but it's looking at the east elevation.
That's a west.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Here,
like reverse.
Okay, it looks like,
East and west are reversed, okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so, on the elevation names.
Okay.
you might want to have a reference north, south, east, and west so that we kind of know what's what, but, okay, that answers my question there. Okay, comments? Board Member Graffiti.
Okay. We'll appreciate that there are a lot of improvements being made. One detail I would want to see moving forward is the railing you're proposing. You kind of verbally described it. It'd be great to have like inspiration images, and I would just encourage you to look at railings and all kind of architectural details that would complement each other. And then I think the biggest portion of this project that I'm struggling with is just the portion that I had questions about, which is that second story bedroom and kind of the way it's been placed over that first story and just the connection to the house, and especially if it wasn't a permitted structure. As you are remodeling it, I would want you to consider, I don't know, ways to better engage that with the overall structure, especially since it is visible from the hillside looking up. But like I said, it seems like there'll be a lot of improvements. So I'm, supportive of that. And then I don't necessarily require it, but I do think, and it's great knowing the owners in this field, just if there is opportunity to improve some of the landscaping, just the planting portions of it, not the hardscape of it. Yeah, okay, great.
Okay, Board Member Leslie.
I think as well, the house is in a situation that doing all of this to it, it's a lot of improvement to the neighborhood, and just to make it better, and the visibility, probably if it's seen from anywhere, it's not a really nice view now, and it will be a great upgrade. But I think this is our first round looking at this. There are a lot of unresolved conditions that are there, which I'm gonna show on Google Earth here, and I don't know if you can see, and maybe on the elevations as well. There's this
I can also bring it up.
yeah,
here, let
this
me-
the roof that it's covering that balcony. It's just kind of like a corrugated. What is that? It's kind of very. So I think that is one thing that I really want to know, if it's a illegal,
what is it?
unpermitted. If you go to your images,
That was permitted in the 2001 permit. It came before the ABR, or before the architectural review at that time. And that footprint is what made everybody, especially the owner, believe that it was a permitted structure.
to me, it's a very unresolved detail of that, that roof, and I saw it in a couple of the images that you showed. It's kind of very, it's cutted in the corner. I don't know if there's a possibility for that to be removed, or a new, with the same gable roof angles, whatever it is. It's very different angles, and I cannot understand it from this. Maybe better photos to show us and see opportunities that it can be improved. Because I think it's visible from the hillside, and I'm not sure if it's reflective or not. I'm not sure about the material of it as well. The other thing, that if you go back to your images, that bedroom on the side, it has a downspout that it's passing. If you go back to your side photos, just scroll through them.
The
second tab.
On the
So
back.
are you proposing to remove that downspout? And
Okay, yes, and.
If you go to side photos.
We've actually given it thought. Here, this is replacing that downspout,
yes,
and it comes down, and we're going to run it through the crawl space and connect it to the drainage that's already there on the site.
okay.
Let me see.
Yeah, if you scroll through this, I have a couple of other
Yeah,
comments. So
this is going to be
Yes.
removed.
okay. The other thing, on the elevation, we're not seeing, for example, on the gabled roof that are seeing further. The second story, there are vent grills I don't know if these are removed or not, but it's not shown on the elevation. So if there are improvements to all the, whatever exterior vent grills are, that will be helpful for us to see next time on the elevations and relationship of them to the windows. And yeah, it was mentioned about the balcony railing. I think like that's like one of the components that will be visible from the hillside, that it's important. And the trusses that we saw, like the structural, which we don't see if they are needed to be added or not. So just the
Yes,
clarification for us.
Yes.
I think that's like my comments for now. Yeah.
Okay, comments, Board Member Roth?
Yeah, so I think those are all great comments. My only other comment is, I know that our purview is just the bedroom additions, but I noticed that there are some windows like on the basement where I thought maybe if you would like, it'd be nice to kind of study that. Just the sizes seem sort of not harmonious to other windows. So just in general, I know that you said that you're just going to replace like for like, but I'm wondering if there's an opportunity to have the windows be more cohesive in their proportions. And yeah, that is all. It's a nice project. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Richards.
Sure. So, point of clarification on that two-story with the stacked bedrooms, it looks like you are replacing a number of windows and getting a more consistent head height across there.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
I think, I agree with all the previous comments. My only addition would be, I think it's going to be important to understand kind of the limitations of the vertical board and bat, and if you need to do any sort of banding to break that up where that falls. Because it is a split-level house, it's going to be a little tricky in terms of where you locate that, I think, or something that is just going to need some consideration.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, overall, I applaud you for trying to make improvements to this structure, and it's going to really help us to know what our purview is. It's really hard to make constructive comments on a project when we don't even know if what we're looking at is illegal as in terms of the second story or both components of the second story on the, I guess it's the west side. And you're going to have to correct your north, south, east, and west on your drawings because they don't appear to be correct. But I just encourage you to, assuming that the bedroom, accessory bedroom that is under our purview, I encourage you to look for ways of incorporating that more into the design, including the treatment of the cantilever, assuming that square footage is legal. But again, it's hard to make comments when we don't know what our purview is. I don't understand the lattice wrought iron railing. So I think somebody already mentioned to come in with some inspiration for that. Board Member Graffiti, I think that would be really important because I've never seen that before. So just something that would show us what it looks like. So yeah, does anybody want to make a motion for this project, or do you want me to craft a motion? Go for it. To continue so we can expedite this. Okay, this is going to be an indefinite continuance back to the full board with the following comments: that the board appreciates the desire to improve the property and would like to see this project again after the scope of the work is defined with regards to any illegal portions that are being proposed to be rebuilt. Study the railing and provide inspirational imagery for that design. And correct the orientation of the drawings. assuming that the accessory room on the west is part of our purview, look for ways to incorporate that room, the reconstruction of that room into the existing architecture, including the treatment of the cantilever. And return with an accurate depiction of the existing conditions. Because I think this is not for part of the motion, but I think you were not proposing the diagonal bracing on the, even though you call it proposed south elevation and you show the diagonal bracing, you weren't proposing that.
Well, I believe that when I go back to the structural engineer, he's going to want it there. It was there for a reason. It was approved with the.
I understand, I get it now. So the next comment would be in the next meeting, return with an accurate depiction of the all existing conditions and all as-built conditions, which I already mentioned before, and all proposed elements, and including architectural detailing such as the achievement of lateral bracing for the existing south-facing balcony. That's it. And that's it.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, here we go. Chair Sherry,
Yes.
Board Member Gafidi,
Yes.
Vice Chair Mosleshi,
Yes.
Board Member Richards,
Yes.
and Board Member Wong.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And that concludes our meeting for tonight. Thank you for listening. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.